I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. I full screened something when I didn't need to full screen it. Hey, we're live.
Hello.
We're live. I did bring something for the pre-show. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, okay.
My brain isn't working, dude. Come on.
No, that's okay. I'm right there with you. I'm still sitting over here trying to figure out. When I look at all our videos on YouTube, I see that there's a single comment on pretty much all of them. But when I go load up the video, I don't see any comment.
Oh, okay.
So,
is it someone you blocked?
I don't know, because I feel like, oh, we have a message in likely spam. Nope. Just that message that I have said is not spam. Sorry, Xavier Orion Games. I keep telling it it's not spam, but maybe it has issue with Booty Diver. I'm not sure.
Possibly, yes. That's a good game.
Yeah.
Simple, but fun.
Yeah, it's nice to have more games like that that are... They're not complex.
Yeah, and like kind of very... Stop it! Plastic stuck to me. Well, pre-show, I've already smashed my knee on something, so...
Yeah.
Back to the same old stuff, really, for us, isn't it?
Just back to recording. Ouch.
So yeah, the thing I bought with me this week for show and tell for the pre-show is plastic stuck to my hands.
Yep.
And also, as we can see on your monitor, you can't actually see it on the stream. I can see it, but the people watching can't. Isaac Four Souls came out.
Oh yeah, I have my copy. God,
underneath your TV. Oh.
Let's look. Let's see.
Here we go, folks.
I'm curious to see the differences between our two packages. Wait, phrasing. I don't know if we're still doing phrasing.
Phrasing never dies.
Okay. Well, then I'm looking forward to comparing our packages.
Phrasing.
Yeah. All right, so here it is.
Hey, Coach Jamal.
Isaac Four Souls. It's backwards on my camera.
So I'm pretty sure my gold box is exactly the same as your gold box because we both ordered at the same time.
Yeah, I think so. Did your extra stuff come in a different package?
I got... It's funny because as I opened the giant box that my shit came in, I had a slightly smaller box inside of the giant box.
Ah, right.
And I pulled out the slightly smaller box and was like, look, this is what Boston got. Right. I got this.
Wah, wah.
Which was... I mean, I showed you earlier. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, hello, Xbox Shivaho. Thank you very much for the kind comments. And hello, Coach Jamal.
Yes.
I'm just going to put this over here because Moon's going to open his, and it's the same thing.
So I'm not opening my actual Four Souls box.
Okay.
This staying wrapped for now. But yeah, I got that.
Bring this back over. Because mine is open.
Oh yeah, you go first.
Oh, first edition. Oh, I didn't even notice that on the top.
Yeah.
My favorite thing...
Crying Isaac there that says first edition.
Yeah, my favorite thing in this is actually the rolls of pennies. They're just plastic pennies, but it comes in this little Binding of Isaac 50 cents roll thing, which is really great. And it comes with a cool little coin bag, which anyone who plays Isaac, you will notice.
Yep, little coin bag.
Yeah. The Binding of Isaac stuff drawn by the dude who did Garbage Pail Kids.
Nice.
Really good. Instructions, whatever. And then like 400 cards. Just like there's this there's 4 of these. Just giant things. Got Holy Mantle and the Relic. That is kind of crazy. Ooh, the D6. Oh wait, there's something else in here. What the heck? Oh yeah. So here's the print of Moonpier's shirt.
Yes, which I went a little bit crazy. I had the funds at the time, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna drop as much money as I can on this thing.
I love Binding of Isaac. We're just gonna go crazy.
Without going crazy. Plus, this is a way I can give Ed money and cut Nicholas straight out the fucking equation.
That's right.
So yeah, I got the $150 edition, which came with the all the stuff you've shown. It came with the 4-player mat.
The monstrous 4-player mat.
Yeah, the thing is kind of ridiculous.
I'm a little bummed because I thought I was going to get that as part of this package. Because it's inherently a what sort of maximum a 4-player game, and I was a little bit bummed, not at Ed or the game makers or anything, more at my reading comprehension or lack thereof. I was a little bummed I didn't get that 4-player mat.
Yeah, I have a roll of uncut cards along with some really amazing print inside of it as well.
That's
nice. Which we'll have to get framed at some point soon.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the t-shirts, which you should be able to see on stream, which is
I can drag up here a little bit. There's a t-shirt.
I got a second t-shirt as part of like an additional backing thing, which was one that was all funded. I got a second t-shirt ordered for that. Which is behind me, which the artwork is good, it's just not as good as this one.
Yeah.
And then I got these little beauties.
Ooh, what are those?
These, and I need your input on this because there is a step I need to take that I haven't taken yet.
Okay.
So these are...
I gotta put pre-show on the screen. There we go.
Psh, pre-show.
You should know.
Holy crap, they come in little black bags as well.
Oh.
I'm so glad I have a pair of scissors here.
Oh, I know what these are. Okay.
Yes, you do.
I thought these were additional cards, because I know... And they even Ed on Twitter the last couple of days has been like, oh yeah, I already have a bunch of cards set up for, expansion pack for the game. And I was like, oh god, Ed.
Yeah.
Ed, you're killing me.
So these are minifigs, essentially. I'm not going to lie, it feels really weird. Because, before I show the actual thing, it comes with a clear plastic base, which you can't really see on screen. But look where the mount is.
Oh. Yeah, that's...
A little unfortunate.
Right there between legs.
Uh-huh. So...
Yeah. Look at that guy.
I'm not gonna lie, like, it's really solid, like, craftsmanship. Kind of looks cool. Like, I love his cheeky little smile.
Yeah, it's a good size, too.
Yeah, like, it's not small, but it's not gonna oversize everything else. So I know for a fact that these 4 boxes I have here, and we're just riffing while people give people give people the chance to join in if they choose to. Which means that I have more boxes to open. So it's
also Awesome Games Done Quick right now, which, if you guys aren't watching that and watching us, I greatly appreciate it. Because Awesome Games Done Quick is really great.
And a little bit insane.
They opened today with a Hollow Knight run, where he got the true ending in 1 hour and 27 minutes.
Oh, really? Well,
I was
put like
incredible.
I put like 20 hours in that game. I'm not even close to touching any ending. So,
yep. Ditto. Yeah, he did the Path of Pain afterwards, which is like the super hard platforming challenge right afterwards, and died 2 times, maybe, I think. And it's one of those things where it's like, you watch it and it's like, that's incredible. That obviously I'll never be that good, but it's incredible to see how much they can stretch mechanics in a game like that.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's not doing anything like game breaking. It's just really good.
Yeah, a lot of it. So the stipulation was true ending with no major glitches.
Okay, so a traditional speedrun, no.
Yeah, and there was some stuff. There was some interesting stuff where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go near this boss, but I can actually hit the switch for a shortcut from the other side, like through the floor at a perfect angle, and that way I can go around some stuff to get an upgrade earlier than they would have. And I was like, okay, that's
kind of cool. Yeah,
and like putting some combinations of relics together and getting some damage upgrades earlier than they possible. Pogoing off of an enemy to pogo off of a piece of the environment to get up to an area earlier. It was some really cool stuff.
Yeah, I did that shit in the game to get a chest that as soon as like 2 rooms later I got the wall jump ability, which meant I could have got it anyway.
Right.
Second there, but that might just be my connection.
You're having bad luck with Twitch today, man.
I don't know what it's doing, dude. It's just like...
it's doing AGDQ, that's what it's doing.
You know what? Actually, that's probably a good call, because I'm pretty sure that thing probably brings so much more than regular traffic.
Yeah, I feel like whenever there's like a League of Legends thing, or EVO's going on, or AGDQ, or SDGQ, it's always just nothing but problems. Dropped a bunch of frames on the encoding already, like it's just... it's tough.
Do you go straight through? Do you keep a recording locally as well?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I'm literally not showing anybody anything. I don't know if Boston can actually see it.
No, it's just off frame. I meant to actually look at what the Games Done Quick. Was it GamesDoneQuick.com maybe? Yeah, GamesDoneQuick.com. I wanted to see if there's anything really cool coming up. They're doing Serious Sam Classic: The First Encounter right now.
Oh wow! I did see them doing like one of the Mario Karts.
There was just one right before we started recording, Mario Kart DS, but it was like an hour-long run, and I didn't. That wasn't that interesting. The problem I have is like someone also ran Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, the Game Boy Advance one. But like, there are some runs that it's obviously not anything against the runner or speedruns in general. There's some that I just don't find that interesting. So like Mario Kart DS and the Kirby ones, those aren't really anything I'm super interested in.
Yeah.
But here, later on tonight, a Portal inbounds race between 2 people. So I'm assuming you can't go out of bounds out of the map, and they're estimating it a 15-minute run. Ooh, and there's a Metal Gear Solid 2 run, European Extreme, right after that.
Yeah, I think like a couple of years ago they did that Metal Gear Solid 2 EU in like less than an hour. I was like, okay.
Yeah, this one's an hour 35, which is interesting. I wonder what that one's going to be like.
I have my boxes open.
Nice.
I'm now surrounded by boxes. So yes, you've seen Kane, I believe.
Yep. I know it's not Kane. Judas because I always call Judas Fez.
Oh, you mean Judas?
Yes. Yep.
Which just a little bit closer so you can actually.
Oh, he has the Bible too.
Yes, he does.
That's great.
Is it the Bible? No, it's the Book of Belial, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I can't see the.
Yeah, it has the little pentagon inscription on it.
Yeah, that's really good.
Then there is our most beloved character.
Boo hiss.
Maggie with her like half-eaten heart or whatever it is.
Yum heart, I think it's actually called.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. And then
our boy, the D6
our boy with his D6.
So are those tears not painted on? Are they?
They are plastic.
That's great.
That are attached to it, and they are slightly see-through.
That's really good.
And if you look, they're actually layered as well, so you might.
Yeah, it looked like they're almost like layered and textured a little bit. God, that's really good.
And because I'm really, really crazy, those were the 4 figures that came with my 150.
Right.
I also picked up the extra figures.
Ooh, yeah.
So Dark Judas.
Yep. Jark Judas.
We have your boy.
Oh, the Lost.
And look at the eyes. Look at the eyes.
That's cute. I like that they kept that he's sort of almost looks like he's made out of marshmallow, like his tail.
And then we got my boy.
His all with hair, which you usually don't see.
Yep. And he's got his wings and the half broken horn.
Yeah, that's good. Boy, those are nice.
It's ridiculous.
I think out of all of those, Isaac is probably my favorite.
With little D6.
Yeah, just holding the D6 with like the non-painted on tears, like that to me is the touch where that takes it from an okay figure to being something that I think they really cared about.
Yeah, definitely. Like is Ed, and he is a little bit weirdly obsessed.
Yeah. Well, in a way that you never see with creators. It's usually like, oh, you know, I like to keep myself separated from my works, you know, stuff like that. Ed is like, this is the best fucking game I've ever made, and I love it, and I love all of you that love it.
Yeah, I've just noticed that Dark Judas has the cross, upside down cross on the forehead still.
Oh yeah,
it's just great. Slightly differently textured. That's kind of cool.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's cool.
Man,
like they're fucking solid, like really solidly built. Wow.
That's great.
Like I get figures every now and again, and they just feel like they're gonna snap, and occasionally have snapped while I'm putting them in the stands.
You've had them for 2 minutes, and they've already broken.
Yep.
Yeah. I keep meaning someone on Etsy makes like a felt Isaac with Guppy, like he's holding Guppy in his arms. Yeah, and I keep thinking about pulling the trigger on that because I feel like that's probably the cutest Isaac you could have. But...
No, you just need to give it to the youngling, and it's the cutest picture ever.
Yeah, I've been playing, spoilers for our show we're going to be doing here in a minute. I've been playing a little bit of Isaac lately, and I think she's finally started to be interested in it. Sort of like, there's a lot of stuff happening on that screen. It's like, okay, well...
Time to maybe
just play it on Switch at night after she's gone to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What I would really love on the Switch is a PS4 remote play app. I know it'll never happen, but you got all the buttons there.
Well, Boston, you don't understand. The PlayStation is the best place to play these games. Right. And if you want a remote play app, buy a Vita, because we still support that.
We have a product for that. Well, we did. What was it called? I don't remember. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, in a perfect world, you'd have something like the Switch that has something that remote plays both consoles and has a Steam app on it. So you just play whatever. Yeah. I know that's probably like an NVIDIA Shield, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest, like I was super surprised when I did the Gaming Marathon just how solid the Xbox app on the PC can stream from the actual Xbox.
Yeah.
I had a couple of hiccups like while playing Subnautica. I was like, well, there's a couple of framey things here. So, but it's the first time I played it. Turns out that's not the streaming app. That's just Subnautica. It happened when I was downstairs, just playing on the Xbox as well. So I was like, okay, so it wasn't the streaming, it was just that.
That's cool.
Oh boy.
All right, I just looked at the streaming schedule here for AGDQ, and I saw, what was that, Tuesday? No, Monday? Tomorrow? There's a big Castlevania block.
Yeah.
Starting with Symphony of the Night. Man. Okay. Close that. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on the Binding of Isaac 4 Souls unboxing stream. See you next time. That's cool. Oh. That's the sort of Kickstarter thing you want, where you get this cool stuff that's really well made. It's not an afterthought.
Yeah, like it made me laugh because I wasn't buying it as a gift for anyone. It was a gift for me from me.
Yep.
So I was in no rush to receive it in the slightest. And it made me laugh every time he'd post like an update on, like, send out the Kickstarter updates. I went and checked on like the back of Kick comments, and it's just a bunch of people being like, "Why isn't mine delivered yet?" It's like, dude, I bet you backed a video game 6 years ago that still hasn't come out yet.
Yeah,
like
I actually totally forgot about it until I got a package. So I got an email from UPS. It's like, hey man, you have a package being delivered tomorrow from Penny Arcade. And I was like, no, I do not. That is not a thing that will happen. I'm not sure where you got that idea. That's definitely not a thing that's going to be happening right now. So I was like, all day I was like, I didn't order it. Did someone order me something from Penny? It has to be a mistake. So it shows up and it says PMC, which is the same delivery stuff I get from Bungie.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, what giant thing did I buy from Bungie this time? My stupid ass at 2 in the morning bought like a life-size ghost or something stupid. And I opened it up and it's 4 souls. And I was like, oh, 4 souls. Hey, what's up, man? I forgot you were coming out.
I totally forgot about it until you posted that you'd received yours.
Yeah.
And then the next day I got an email about like delivery updates. Nothing specific to me, just a generic one that he kept on posting every couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
And that's when I jumped into the comments like, dudes, like this is started, funded, and turned around in less than 3 months. What more do you want from Kickstarter? Like,
speaking of Bungie, I do have one other thing I want to show off on stream. I totally forgot about this. Speaking of pre-orders, pre-ordered this a year ago, maybe?
I think I know what this is. And it looked cool as balls.
Oh god. Destiny, the Music of Destiny Volume 1.
Yep.
The set of records, which is so much nicer than I thought it was going to be. It comes with a pin I've not yet opened. I think it's just the Traveler with the tricorn on it. Just the dumbest.
I just realized I need to watch the stream for the actual pictures of these, because I'm looking through a different camera, folks.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't get the view. I get the corner of a wrapping.
But this comes with...
Holy crap, that's
incredible
cool
stuff.
as hell.
You can see the gold foil all over it. Gold foil is on everything. Like, and this is 3 sets of 2 records. So 6 total records. And even the sleeves are nice. Like, it has the Destiny tree on it. I don't remember what the records even look like. Not yet listened to these, so I can't say what the sound quality is. But
look at all that wasted space on that record. I see the dead space in the middle.
It's a little weird. What's even on this? Oh, this is Music of the Spheres. So this one's
like.
This one's weird.
Out of curiosity, I want to know if you're watching the stream at any point, please tweet me and tell me if you got that reference to knowing that there's dead space on a record, and how old are we by looking at it.
Yeah. Tell us how old we are. Yeah, that one's really great. So this one is Music of the Spheres. It's like the full thing that Marty O'Donnell and team wrote, that they then chopped up to make the Destiny 1 soundtrack.
Yeah. Where's Paul McCartney's contribution to this?
Oh, God. It's so bad. They make fun of it in Destiny 2.
Good.
So we have the second one, which is really cool. This is just the first soundtrack by itself. I don't remember what's inside this. Yeah, this one is cool. I think this is Mars.
Yeah.
Some really neat... There's probably some hidden code in here. Or something. I
tell you one thing, the gameplay designers might not be that great, but the graphic designers over at Bungie are amazing. Yes.
And this is, yeah, the other half. The other half of this, the Destiny 1 soundtrack. Yeah, also includes Sir Paul McCartney's song, All Ends Are Beginnings. So bad. And there's a picture of the moon, which we sadly can't go to anymore. Oh, and then there's some... Oh yeah, there's a booklet in here of something. What's in here? Oh yeah, it's all like interviews and behind the scenes stuff along with some artwork.
It's cool.
Yeah. This was really cool. This is one of those things where I also forgot it was going to come, and I was like, oh, there's another one where it's like, oh, I know this is from Bungie. I don't know what I bought. And I am dumb. And I opened it and I was like, oh, that is way nicer than I was expecting. Exactly as nice as it should be for the price. Let's put it that way.
I don't even want to know.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's one of those where it's like, alright, I love Destiny, and I love Destiny's music, and I love collecting and listening to records. It's pretty much the triple threat for me. Yeah,
it's everything you could possibly want in an actual bonus product.
Exactly. Now they just need to put out Volume 2, which would probably be, I guess, the DLC for Destiny 1? That'd be great.
Yep.
Okay. Now we've done show and tell. Are you ready to kick this thing off?
Yep.
All right.
I love the fact that my garbage heap is just
Binding of Isaac garbage heap.
Yep.
You'll have to data mine the records to your unreleased tracks. God, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would kind of be cool.
Yeah. All right, let's get started here in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Moonpier.
Hello.
We're back. It's 2019. We've had our refreshing 2 weeks off. You guys got to enjoy the 2 episodes that I know both of us were really proud of, the top 10 and the predictions. I noticed I didn't say 2019 predictions because I had problems saying that last year. But I thought those turned out really well. We got a spoiler cast for Assassin's Creed Odyssey and all of its craziness.
Yep.
There's a brand new episode of Old Dog New Flicks out for patrons. I don't remember what movie that was.
Fargo. The most recent one is Fargo.
And there was voting for
January.
What the next movie is going to be.
Which, come on, tell the people how it went down.
It was a 3-way tie. Because of course it was.
33% down the line. It's like, great. Just great.
So I flipped a coin. Myself, the impartial judge, flipped a coin, and we came up with Rocky. Yep,
which has been ordered, is on its way. It should be here on Tuesday, I hope. So, fun, genre-defining movie coming up.
Yeah. What else? Dynamic Soundtrack Game of the Year. That came out as well. Celebrating the best of 2018 soundtracks. And I think that was it. A lot of stuff came out in a very short time span.
Yeah, there was a lot of recording done 2 weeks ago.
God, yes.
Number one, it's weird to say there's a lot of recording done last year, which we topped out on like top 1%. Yes, we are the 1%.
Yes.
On Restream for streaming last year, which goes.
Yes.
But it's weird to say we recorded a lot last year and actually only mean 2 weeks ago.
Yes. That's it. Yeah, we're still in that period of it's a new year. Yeah, right. Okay.
And with a new year comes the biggest episode of the show for the year.
Yep. Yeah. So we haven't recorded in 2 weeks, so we're, like Moon said, we sort of have 2 weeks of games saved up. So let's start with you. What have you been playing over the last couple of weeks?
Whew. Okay, so start with Prey.
Oh.
Because why not?
2017's Game of the Year.
Specifically in this case, it was Prey Typhon Hunter, which was the free DLC that came out, which was actually a standalone game.
Yeah, it's this weird thing where, like, if you own Moon Crash or the digital deluxe edition of Prey, then Typhon Hunter is free. If you don't own Moon Crash, you have to buy that to also get Typhon Hunter.
Yep, but it's a standalone app. Like, you don't launch it with Prey, you launch it by itself.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yes. It's prop hunt, folks. I mean,
okay.
There's not a lot I can say about, like, if you are a fan of streamers or entertainment channels on YouTube, you have seen people play this exact game type before because it's prop hunt, which is you take possession of an object and you hide. The biggest skew on it this time is you're not just a random ghost taking possession of an object, you are a Typhon hiding it as an object.
You're a mimic.
Yes, so you actually have a physical form, and as you take possession of a mimic something, your psi meter drains, so you can't stay that way the whole time. It forces you to stop and move and change to something else.
That makes sense.
There are collectible, like, little power-ups you can get throughout the level that refill your psi meter. But the biggest difference between this and regular prop hunt is if you are hidden and close to
Morgan.
I can't remember his name.
Morgan?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you are hidden and close to Morgan, you have a meter that fills up, and then as soon as that meter's full, you can totally ambush him and kill him.
Great. That's really good.
So it gets to the point where people start playing really aggressively as mimics.
Right.
Like let's say Morgan comes over, he's in your area, he's wandering around, your meat is almost full, but then he starts to move away from you or move away from somebody else. You'll just see this can of Coke rolling after him, trying to stay within the range so that the meter fills up, and then you can ambush him. Because what that does is as soon as you ambush him, he has to die and respawn, which gives all of the mimics time to pop out, get one of those collectibles to refill your side meter, and then go and find somewhere else to hide.
Oh, that's cool.
So it becomes this really, really dumb backwards and forwards of how many times can you ambush Morgan before he kills every single mimic.
Right.
The multiplayer is doing okay on the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I played a lot of this with my wife, and it was very confusing trying to figure it out at first, but when you get the hang of it, it's fine.
Yeah.
If you play by yourself, you can have bot mimics, which are the stupidest mimics you've ever seen in your life.
Standing in the middle of the room, being like, "What should I do?"
3 of them running towards you at the same time as mimics when you can't ambush them as mimics. Like,
right.
If you're a mimic, you cannot attack Morgan. You can only do that while you're hidden, basically.
Okay.
So there is no way of them to actually hit you.
Right.
As Morgan, you can get the wrench, the pistol. You can pick up weapons and stuff throughout the course of the level. You can pick stuff up and then drop it to check if it's a mimic. If you press X on something and it's a mimic, it just transforms in your hands.
Oh, cool.
And you can also get the Psychoscope upgrade, which is a limited time power-up which just lets you see where everybody is.
That's cool.
It's it's dumb, it's really dumb, and it's essentially just a rip-off of Prop Hunt with some tweaks on it. Play it while you can, because this ain't going to last long.
Yeah. Well, and it's a bummer because it's perfect for Prey. I mean, it's unlike Prop Hunt. It makes so much sense in universe that you'd be able to do this, that it just seems like a perfect match.
I mean, hopefully the Steam community will play it for a while.
Right.
The biggest issue is on the Xbox and on the PlayStation, it's going to have a limited lifespan. It's not going to be around forever. It's not going to be active forever.
And so I know the PS4 version has PSVR support, but it's not for Typhon Hunter. It's for these like these separate little sections where you can do. It's almost like the when you first start Prey and you're going through all those testing chambers. Apparently, it's something similar to that.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with it is it's very, very frame rate. And I don't notice frame rate issues, and I noticed it. So that should give you an idea of how framey the thing is.
And you're playing on an X, right?
I'm playing on an X.
Yeah.
So
that's a bummer.
It has its issues, but it's not too bad. I'm playing Iconoclasts as part of TVGP Game Club, which we are rolling over to January.
Yep. I just finished that yesterday at
a
couple minutes under 9 hours.
Nice. I'm streaming this as best as I can. I'm going to do my best to stream my entire playthrough, so there will be archives and stuff available for you to watch of me going crazy if you'd like to do so.
I'm very excited to talk about this because I feel very strongly about it. I won't say positively or negatively. I'm very, very curious to hear what you and Musum, how you and Musum feel about this game.
Yeah, I just got the electric spanner, if that gives you an idea of where I'm up to.
Yeah, I think Musum was saying there's a boss. Shockingly, there's a boss in Iconoclasts, like right after that uses it, and I think, if I remember correctly, that was about the halfway point in the game. Okay, so not too bad then. Yeah.
Okay, 2 arcade classics games here, because if you follow me on Twitter, me and my wife, you may have noticed that she's been going a little bit crazy over the Christmas
70%
break.
rule has been doing really well.
She's down to like sub 200 games installed. Like might even be sub 150 at this point.
Jeez.
My number keeps going up. Thank you, Game Pass. Thank you, stupidly fun sales.
It's like she deletes 2, you install 1.
Yeah, pretty much exactly how it goes.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get through the quick and easy ones, get them done, get them uninstalled. Let's go kind of thing. So arcade classics. I played Pac-Man.
Okay.
Which is the like $2 Pac-Man game.
The regular, not Nothing crazy. No
regular ass
no ghost trains.
Here's my hot take for the week. One of many I will probably have.
Okay.
Pac-Man sucks.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Like OG Pac-Man is terrible. As far as I'm concerned, there is one true Pac-Man. And that one true Pac-Man is God, and that one true Pac-Man is CEDX.
Well, of course, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Before that, it was Miss Pac-Man, which is a much better game than Mr. Pac-Man, as we call him now, I think. But yeah, CEDX is just... It's too good. It
took a tired and dead and stupid thing and made it great. And it takes something special to do that.
Yeah.
And Pac-Man sucks. Like, OG Pac-Man is terrible.
Yeah, it's one of those games that's just so old. Not that it was bad when it came out, because it was incredible when it came out.
Yeah.
It's just you've played better Pac-Man games by this point. It's sort of like a lot of Tetris games Ubisoft put out. Where you play it and you're like, this Tetris game sucks. Like, I played good Tetris games, and this is not it, man.
Yeah, let me tell you about the one true Tetrisphere.
I was going to say Tetris Effect, or what was the one I liked? Tetris Plus on the PS1. That's the one I liked, with the archaeologist.
Tetris Plus was amazing.
Yeah.
Tetris Effect I haven't played yet. Right. I'm very pleased to see that take Giant Bomb's Game of the Year this year.
Oh, did it? Nice.
Oh yes.
I was really happy to see it take so many Game of the Year's honors between that and Celeste. But I was really disappointed to see so many people say, like, oh my god, you gave it to just a Tetris game? It's like, look, if it wins over something like Spider-Man and God of War, don't you maybe think you might want to check it out?
Yep.
Maybe it's probably pretty good if it won over some of the biggest AAA games we've seen in years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tetris Effect took Giant Bombs, because don't listen to that Game of the Year podcast this year. Specifically, the actual last 2 episodes. Like, the first 3 episodes, I don't know if you actually listened to Giant Bombs.
I'm like halfway through the 2nd episode. I'm really enjoying it.
Their new format is incredible.
I really like it.
3 days going through every single game that came out in the year, talk about pros and negatives, and then the last 2 days is just 10 awards. Let's reward them. Listen to the first 3 days, skip the last 2.
I heard some stuff from the last 2 days, which was just an all-out brawl. It's like, I don't want to listen to that, really.
Especially when you figure out where the brawl is coming from. I'll give you a clue. He wears a W hat.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. I can understand all the points, but it felt very vitrolic this year, whereas...
Which is a bummer, because the formula, when they start going through the formula, it's like, man, I really wish I would have thought of that first, because that's a really great idea.
It's a genius thing for them to do, and like they're going through and they're talking about games that I haven't even heard of. The mobile game that Abby played is like, okay.
Florence? Yeah, it's something I've had installed on my phone for 6 months, and I'm like, I really need to play it now.
And I was aware of Return of the Obra Dinn. I wasn't as interested until those 3 episodes.
I'm trying to find out if it has swearing in it or not, because I'd like to play it with my wife.
I believe it does. I don't know if it's very bad swearing, but I think it does have swearing in it.
Because I think, like The Witness, I think my wife and I would enjoy playing it together and doing what do they call it, murder Sudoku?
Yes.
I think we'd enjoy playing that together like we did with The Witness.
Yeah. Anyway, back to games I've actually played.
Right.
Galaga. Arcade Classics Galaga.
Sorry.
Hot take number 2, folks. Galaga sucks.
Galaga is one of those games that I really respect, and it has always been my bane. It has always bested me for the last 30 years. I've never been able to get good at it. Like,
it's an okay game. It feels super duper punishing. Just for those keeping track of my achievement hunting prowess in this, by the way, Arcade Classics 100% done, uninstalled. For the record, folks.
Freedom.
Yes, freedom. Galaga, a little bit more difficult because you got to get perfect stages in it. So I'm not looking forward to that grind at all. It does not help when my first introduction to shmups, traditional shmups, was sitting in a buddy of mine's house in London and playing Japanese imports of bullet hell shooters.
Right.
On an arcade cabinet.
Right.
And then going back to play Galaga.
Yeah.
Galaga sucks.
Well, it's to me, that's one of those games where when it was out in arcades and I was young, it's one of those first few games you play and it's like, that's where the quarter muncher design started coming out. And it's a fine game.
Mm-hmm.
But you can sort of feel it pulling at your purse strings every once in a while.
Yeah, when it takes me 32 attempts to get to stage 30.
Right.
Doing level skips as I do it. Like,
right.
I got through stage 1 to 5, fine. I got to stage 6, died once. Started at stage 6, died again. Made it through to stage 7, so on and so forth. Because like you can choose what level you want to start at.
That's nice.
Galaga sucks. Like it's whatever. I'll get there eventually with that. It's pattern memorization, and I'll if I can get a full 4 fruit and 4 ghosts with every single power pellet on Pac-Man, I'm pretty sure I can do perfect stages on Galaga.
Yeah.
Speaking of tidying things up, I wiped out Batman, TellTalle Batman Season 2. I finished it.
What'd you think?
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. And
go ahead.
I got the Vigilante. I know that was going to be your next question.
Yep.
Is which one did I get?
Yep.
I got the Vigilante version of the Joker.
Nice.
Which I really liked.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's still technically a little bit of a sociopath, but also he's trying to do the best he can.
Yeah, he's trying to do the right thing because he admires Batman so much.
Yeah, it's a really good retelling. Apparently there is a Batman Elsewhere comic, which is the DC run where they tell stories which are disassociated with everything.
Oh, okay.
Called White Knight, which when Batman tries to cure the Joker, figures out a cure for the Joker. Oh, sorry, he's had enough and he tries to kill the Joker and ends up curing the Joker.
Okay.
At which point everybody turns against him and the Joker becomes a vigilante trying to hunt down Batman.
Wow.
Because he finally crossed that line kind of thing, which Batman kills people. Like,
yeah, let's not. I know he's not supposed to, but some of those peeps die.
32 beats per minute, my ass.
The paperback just came out of that. It is $12 on Amazon.
It's meant to be a really interesting, like, Elseworlds, and kind of this got me thinking of that, which is like, oh no, I'm kind of interested in going to that.
Batman. I'll probably pick that up. That sounds cool.
From what I've been told, if you're going to read Batman, the current Batman run with Tom King as the writer is the run to read, because it's not about the villains, it's about Batman and specifically him and Catwoman.
The last Batman I read was what was it? Something in the Family, the one where Joker comes back and he's stapled his face to his skull. It was really good. It was really good.
I think the last one I read was Long Halloween.
Oh, okay.
I think it was that one. It was the one with Calendar Man, I believe, and Gordon is the centerpiece.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I hadn't read it before, so I ended up reading it. But yeah, the TellTalle Batman is really, really good. Like, really good.
It's one of my favorites from them. And it's a bummer that no one tried it, because they were like, oh, another Batman. All right, where we go? And
the fact that engine like does the whole relationship thing at the end of everything, at the end of every episode, is insanely good.
Yeah, it's so good, and it's such a bummer that we're not going to get more of that.
Yeah,
man, I'll play it again.
So I also played The Walking Dead Final Frontier. Sorry, New Frontier, not Final Frontier. It's not a Star Trek crossover. It's the Final Frontier. No, it's the New Frontier.
New Frontier. I don't know what this is.
The Walking Dead: The New Frontier is season 3 of The Walking Dead.
Okay.
So The Walking Dead TellTalle games are season 1, season 2, Michonne. Oh, sorry, season 1.
Like 38 and a half days or something?
Yeah, whatever it is days, 309 days or whatever.
8 Mile.
Season 2, Michonne, New Frontier, final chapter or
final
whatever
season.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The New Frontier, you play as a different protagonist, but you do run into Clementine. I know you are not the biggest fan of The Walking Dead past season 1.
The TV show, correct. Actually, I haven't really ever watched it, because when season 1 finished, I was like, that was really... I feel good about that. Like, that was really good. I don't think I want to watch more.
Yeah, season 2 is not great. Season 3 of the TV show is incredible.
I feel like after Heroes that I was watching as it was going on, I feel like if I'm happy with season 1, I'll be like, I'm good. I'm full. Thank you.
Back off and stop.
Yeah.
As for the actual TellTalle games, did you even like season 1 of Walking Dead?
Absolutely. Mostly because I got such a different playthrough than the rest of you guys. We did a spoiler cast on it, if I remember.
I don't think I was there.
Oh,
I was not on the show at that time.
Yeah, it was myself, Knobs, and someone else. I don't remember who. I'll look it up.
Probably Brad.
I think it was after that. I'll look it up while we're talking.
Well, I kind of like the New Frontier. So I've only completed episode 1. Mm-hmm. I'm unsure if it's an all-in or all-out kind of thing, but I have it installed, and I have it, and it takes up 32 gigabytes on my hard drive.
Goodness.
So I'm playing through it now, and I'm gonna get this uninstalled.
Yeah, we recorded 2 hours of The Walking Dead in 2013, myself, Knobs, and the Hannah.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's the New Frontier. It's season 3 of The Walking Dead. It's, at this point, you've probably already played it at this point. Come on, this is me coming to it massively late.
Right.
I do like the fact that it's not Clementine as a main character. She's more of a supporting character. Mm-hmm. She is the lead of this story.
Right.
Did you ever play season 2?
No, I actually didn't even play the stuff after season 1, because I played season 1 and I thought, well, I like that so much, I'll wait until season 2 comes out and see how, like, the whole thing, and see how people feel. Mm-hmm. And it came out, and everyone said, oh, it's really good, and I think I just sort of missed that boat.
Season 2 is not as good as season 1, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Season 2 has got... If you ever want some really fun spoiler-filled season 2 talk, go and check out Indie Gamer Chick's review of The Walking Dead season 2, where she literally plays like a sociopath.
Okay.
And it's hilarious reading her talk about that. But I've loved all the TellTalle games I've played. Like, there hasn't been one, maybe Game of Thrones was the most disappointing one, so much so that I literally can't remember most of the things that take place in that game.
Right.
But everything else is done pretty well.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play through the New Frontier, and then now the hard part, I have the Walking Dead collection to play as well, which is also seasons 1, 2, Michonne, and 3, and 300 Days of Summer or wherever, all wrapped in one package.
Right.
So I'll be playing this again at some point soon, probably.
Right.
But I don't want to go back to season 1 because I'm just gonna cry again. And
God, it's so good.
You don't want to watch me cry, folks. It's a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Played some Strange Brigade.
Right.
Me, my wife, and Rob from the community. We all jumped in, played a couple of rounds with Charlie, our yeehaw southern drawl gentleman who is the weirdest guy ever and the best guy ever. We all played some Strange Brigade and made a bit of progress in it. It's generic as hell. But still fun. Like, it's just dumb, stupid fun. It's third person, shoot all those stupid mummies that are popping up, and then, get some gold, upgrade your weapons, get some skills, find the stupid canopic jars, find the cats that are scattered throughout the level, because everybody hates cats. It's a dumb fun game. Like, it's really just jump in, play a couple of rounds, jump out kind of stupidness, which is... It's fine by me. Unravel 2. I'm literally just going to keep firing these things out until I finish my list.
Making progress. 70% rule.
Yep. Unravel 2. I played this with my wife. This is one of our co-op games that we are playing. I'm still enjoying this game. This is not Unravel 1.
Okay.
Unravel 1 made it onto my Game of the Year list the year that came out because, for I think a very good reason, because it's a game I absolutely adored.
It's a great game. 2
feels like they misstepped by adding the co-op.
Okay.
It's not to say it's a bad thing, and you can play it by yourself.
Right.
But it feels like it flows a lot more awkwardly because of the co-op nature. Because you'll transition from a really fast-paced chase scene into a puzzle section where you've got each person's got to do their own particular thing to get through that section. But part of what it does is something I loved about Unravel was the sense of scale. You are a big Yanni on the screen in a huge world.
Yeah.
Some of the puzzles so far in this have panned the camera out so far that you're a tiny Yanni on a big screen. And it doesn't feel as nice scale-wise to see this huge thing and you're a tiny little thing on the screen.
Right.
It feels kind of counterintuitive to how the first one was, whereas like you are always this big.
Right.
Like it pans out a little bit, but nothing too big kind of thing. Whereas because you're this big and you've got to get someone on the other side of this puzzle, way on the other side of the screen, the amount it pans out, it makes it feel weird.
Yeah.
And it's hard to describe and it's hard to put into words what I'm talking about. But it doesn't feel the same as Unravel did when it comes to that scale. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you're still small in a big world, in a huge world, but it doesn't suit that feeling I got from the first one to have me actually be tiny on the screen.
Right.
It's just a weird thing.
You never played the original God of War games, right?
Yep.
What I think the first Unravel did, oddly enough, I can't believe I'm going to
yes,
connect
the God
these
of
two.
War to Unravel comparison. Let's go.
One of the best moments in the first God of War game is you're sort of climbing up this mountain and going like through and around it, and eventually you find out you're just climbing on the back of this big giant that's carrying the dungeon that you're walking around in. And it's such a cool moment when it zooms out and you see that you are just super, super tiny on this big, giant, lumbering thing. And I thought that was what was so great about the first Unravel is you're sort of walking through an environment and you're like, I don't even really know what this is. And then you realize, oh, I'm actually wandering on like a front loader machine and I have to manipulate it to get through the environment. It's like, okay, that was cool that I was able to use Yarny to manipulate this really big thing to kind of make a bridge to keep going. And it's a bummer to hear that. Of course, they would make the decision to pull the camera out to show you the scale, but to me it makes sense where you're saying like that's not really the strength of Unravel. Yeah,
and I'll be honest, so far, like the story in this, in the way that Unravel tells its story, which is things in the background that are like memories that flash up.
Right.
Not as touching so far, and I don't know if that's because it's a multiplayer game and everybody plays games at their own specific pace.
Right.
Because my wife will probably agree with me on this. Like when it comes to games, she is a get in, go, get things done.
Like keep it moving.
Yeah, there's a reason why she doesn't like games like Dark Souls, games like Sunless Sea, as we have aptly started calling them, deliberate games.
Yes.
Because that's not her preferred play style. Like
it's not the right speed.
Yeah.
Right.
She plays deliberate games. She's one of the best players I've ever seen at Siege. The difference is that's a fast-paced deliberate game.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's because like we're trying to move through a different pace or what, or I'm not stopping and paying attention to the things that are going on in the background. It's like, okay, two kids running away from something, whatever. Whereas the first one, every single time one of those memories came up, I was watching it and paying attention to it, and
right.
Especially with the way the music is in the first one, which doesn't feel as good in this one. So it's this weird thing. We'll play through it. We'll see how it goes and how it ends up.
Yeah, it might all connect in the end.
Yeah, hopefully it does. But Unravel 2 is good. It's not Unravel 1. That's my biggest complaint against the sequel.
It's hard for a game like that for lightning to strike twice, though. Like that first game did everything right with a small scale, and it'd be hard to do that again. Yeah.
So moving on. So it was I'm going to use the branding here. It was hashtag Indie Christmas 2018, in which Indie Gamer Chick gets a bunch of indie devs and starts just giving away codes. All you got to do is actually cover them and talk about them. So if you've followed me on Twitter, you've probably seen me talk about The Story Goes On, which is a top-down roguelike game, which is a bit dungeon crawly. It's a little bit like Isaac. I was actually talking to the developers about it, and what they responded. I asked them, if they take inspiration from other games like Isaac, and apparently the beta testers referred to this as the Legend of Isaac.
Okay.
Because it's got a very simple. It's my biggest detractor on it is the art style is super simple. It feels a little bit clip arty.
Okay.
But it's top down, it's dungeon crawly, you go through, you explore rooms, you get stuff. It's a very, very, very basic roguelike. In fact, I'm going to use one of our often phrases here. This might be a really, really good intro to roguelikes.
Right.
Because it's not that punishing, it's not that difficult until you get to the final boss of the game, and then in which case it just kicks you in the face over and over and over again.
Great.
It has unlocks where you beat the game and it unlocks a new section for you, and then you beat those two sections and it unlocks a new section for the next run. It has that roguelike elements, except it's really, really simple to play and really easy to play.
Okay.
So I think this might actually work out really well when we field questions like intro to blanks.
Right.
I honestly think The Story Goes On is a really good intro to roguelikes. If you're listening to this now and I haven't texted you by this point, T, you might want to check into this and see how your kids do, because I know his kids like Isaac.
Right.
So I'm curious if they would actually enjoy this, like starting, because it's all done in like a coloring book kind of style. Like it's what happens to the characters on the page when the authors are like get writer's block.
Right.
So it's like people like stories that never got told kind of thing. And I think it's a really child-friendly introduction to that kind of game.
Yeah, I was just looking it up on Steam. It's only $8 on Steam. Yeah, interesting.
It's really fun. Like I don't have to think about a flowchart for this. That should tell you what, like, for those who, that's our reference of choice when we're talking about roguelikes, is building the flowchart per specific game. And for this is a roguelike where you don't need a flowchart. You go in, you swing your sword, you get some upgrades, and next thing you know, there is the Michael Bay item where enemies explode. And then it's like, I think it's enemies explode, and then the descriptor for it is who let Michael Bay in here.
Right. That's really good.
It's got a whole bunch of really smart, snappy writing.
Right.
I ended up with a character called down, down, left, left, AB, start, because you have to name a character, but because I was playing it on the Xbox, it's like inputs on my controller. It's like, okay, I want to call him down.
Right.
Now, how do I confirm that? Do I press down again? No. Do I press left? No. And it just ended up with this little character follow me around, and his name took up the entirety of the screen.
That's really good.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a simple, fun roguelike, and honestly, this might be the best intro to roguelikes I've ever seen.
Right.
So maybe give it a shot.
Yeah, it's called The Story Goes On?
Yes, and it's by Scarecrow Games or Scarecrow Arts.
Yeah, Scarecrow Arts, yeah.
It's even better because at one point you get chased through the game by the title, by the artwork for the studio. It's so really cool. It's so dumb.
Man.
So yes, The Story Goes On. Again, referencing back to Indie Gamer Chick here. She's actually come up with a very good idea. And I will give her full credit for this. She is doing a thing in 2019 called Discover Indies. So the first Friday of every month, you go onto your platform of choice, you scroll through the store, and you find a game that, number one, you've never heard of. Number two, has very few reviews and stuff like that.
Right.
Ideally, indie game. So a game that's by a small developer, small publisher, whatever. You buy it, you play it. And then you talk about it on your social media platform.
Right. Find a game that has 4 reviews on it. Pick that up and talk about it.
Exactly. So I decided to download a game called Odium to the Core.
Okay.
Which is weird.
Okay.
And by the way, I really like this idea because I've got 4 games on this little post-it note here that I really want to play because I did my hashtag Discover Indies part, and then I clicked on the hashtag and I checked it out and I scrolled through a whole bunch of tweets and I was like, ooh, that game looks interesting. Ooh, that game looks interesting. For example, did you know there is a game kind of based on Papers, Please where you play death and send people to heaven or hell?
Great. That sounds really good.
And it's on the Switch, I believe.
Even better.
It's called Peace, Death. Peace, Death.
Great. That's a good
I
name.
really want to play that game. Like, it looks so cool. Like, I literally have a post-it note with games written on in front of me because I checked out the hashtag and this thing works because so many people are talking about it. I bought 2 more indie games just based on people talking about them on this thing. And I also tweeted at Musum about a mech game where you deliver pizzas as a giant mech. So, you know.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, Odium the Core is... I knew this game for a reason. It's because...
It's a game jam game.
As cool as this looks, watching footage of it makes me dizzy.
Say hello to my first and most prevalent complaint for it.
Yeah.
It makes me nauseous when I play it.
It's such a cool idea, but...
Like, it's a very simple game. It's a one-button, like, quote-unquote runner where you're going through the tunnel and you press A to go up, you let go of A to go down.
Yep.
Really simple idea. There's been tons of games based around this exact same thing.
A lot of stuff on mobile where like you're always flying and you tap and hold the screen and you go down and you scoot back up.
Yeah, exactly. My description for this is Flappy Dot because it's Flappy Bird, but you're a dot.
Yep.
The biggest issue I have is the swings on the up and downs because you can see so far ahead of you, which is a good thing. You can see really far ahead of you, but because the tunnel is so tight, it's just this big wavering thing on the edge of the screen.
Oh, right.
And I'm playing on, like, 6 feet away from a 49-inch 4K TV.
Right.
So in order to actually play this thing and sustainably play it, I have to do the Guitar Hero thing where I don't see that side of the screen.
Yeah, you're just tunnel visioning in on...
Yeah, where, like, when you're playing Guitar Hero or Rock Band or stuff, you know the notes are coming and you know what ones they are, but you're not focusing on them. You're focusing on the actual note thing itself at the bottom, like the impact zone.
Right.
I can't believe I just made a TNA reference. So you're focusing on that, and the rest of it just kind of blends out, so you don't see it coming, and that helps to avoid the river effect as well, which is one of my favorite/least favorite things to experience after playing video games. Like, why is my ceiling falling? Oh no! What's going on?
I get the waterfall effect a lot with credits in games sometimes, where I'm just like, "Whoa, that's messing with my head."
So don't complete Ubisoft games should be your 2019.
Honestly, on Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I just skipped the credits. I don't have time for it.
But yeah, the Odium to the Core is it's fun. It's crisp. It's like weird. As I mentioned on Twitter, I don't know music genres. So this is EDM or trance. It's one of the two. Maybe it's something else. I don't know.
They all blend together anyway.
It's got really good solid music. The level design is incredible. Like,
it's a cool style.
Like, it's
it
so
almost
much
reminds me of Patapon.
Yes, like it's got that similar black and white or black and color art style.
Yep.
It's genuinely kind of fun to play. Number one, and I didn't phrase it this way on Twitter because people might read that tweet and think I'm some a-hole who thinks too much of himself. If the first level of your game, I cannot get the collectibles or beat the score target on your first level,
right?
And it's me, the guy who goes crazy making sure he beats stuff,
right?
Maybe your game is a little bit too hard.
Yeah, that should be 90% of people should be able to get all the collectibles on the first level.
Yeah, and it's something I posted about on Twitter when discussing this as well. Was like it feels like it's got mouse acceleration on the movement,
right?
Like you know when you do a little move with your mouse and it starts slow and just goes and swooshes across. it feels like that on the up and down vertical movement, where you just suddenly you let go of A for like more than a second, and your guys just plummet into the ground like an asteroid.
Yeah.
So it's a constant tapping of A to keep it in rhythm, but then the constant tapping of A just means the edge of the screen goes up and down and up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now I'm just getting nauseous.
Yeah, that's a bummer. That's a cool idea, but
I mean, it's a decent concept. I'm not complaining. I spent $5 on it. You know,
sure.
I spent less than a cup of coffee, so I'm not going to complain about it. I might go back to it. I might not. We'll see how I feel. But thanks to Discover Indies, now I've got Kickbeat Special Edition, Coffee Crisis, Peace Death, and about 4 other games I need to play. Oh,
you've never played Kickbeat before?
Nope.
I think you'll like Kickbeat. That's a cool game.
And I didn't know it was a Zen Studios game too, so...
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I'm happy to have Kickbeat because Odium had me thinking about how much I want a rhythm game, and I don't want a giant plastic guitar in my house right now.
Right.
So what rhythm games do I have? And then I literally happened to be scrolling through the Discover Indie hashtag, and I was like, oh, rhythm game?
Look at all these rhythm games.
Oh, there's a rhythm game, I see. So, you know what? It's $10. I picked it up. So what? Who cares? I'll play it, see how I feel.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kickbeat is going to be soon.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another game off my list. Don't worry, guys. We're only like 6 games left. Welcome to your bumper edition of TVGP.
Yeah.
I played Sea of Thieves.
Oh.
With friend of the show / pirate legend Almighty Tooth.
Wow, pirate legend. Hello.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Apparently, Tooth does nothing but play Sea of Thieves. Is the lesson
I had no
learned.
idea. That's awesome.
So we did a whole bunch of stuff. Basically, with him being pirate legend, he has access to Athena quests, which are pirate legend quests.
Ooh.
Which give you huge payouts, huge rewards, and he can put the quest down, and us pirate noobs over here can accept the quests and reap the benefits.
Cool.
Or in my case, I can be a total pirate scumbag, and because I was in the middle of playing something else, I can't even remember what it was. I think it might have been my final game this week. My wife was playing with Tooth and a couple of other people, and they played for about 6 hours.
Wow.
For the record. And this was New Year's Eve. So they're playing for 6 hours on New Year's Eve. It's like Tooth, I think maybe Tooth, my wife, and a couple of people Tooth know. So they were all playing. Someone had to drop out, and they've got tons of chests and tons of everything. And I'm sitting there playing my own game, doing whatever. And my wife just pokes me and is like, do you want to like jump in the game and collect these rewards? Because we've got a space. Right. So you could just jump in and get all the loot for doing basically sod all.
I'd love to.
Like, sure. Yeah. Give me 2 minutes. Let me just save my game right now, and I will load it up and get the XP and everything. Thank you very much. So we jumped in, did a bunch of cashed all in all the rewards, and one of Tooth's friends was like less than a quarter of an XP bar away from being pirate legend on the 3 different like things.
Right.
Like, we've got an hour and a half until midnight on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
We will make you pirate legend by New Year's Day.
Right.
So you will go into 2019 pirate legend.
Yep.
So, person I've never met before until literally that day, just jumping in and then playing with my wife all day. So we just sat there and we slammed it. And we just jumped in, did a bunch of quests, and got the Tooth friend all the way up to pirate legend, like the tiny little sliver they needed. Pirate legend for 2019.
Nice.
And it's stories like that, which is when Sea of Thieves is Game of the Year worthy.
Right.
It's all the other stories is when it's not.
Right. Yeah.
But they've added so much to that game again. There is volcanic islands now, and let me tell you, they will F you up real quick. When you are trying to collect treasure on these volcanic islands, the volcano will explode and chunks of rock at your ship.
Nice.
Not aimed at your ship, just out in the general direction, and if you happen to be parked there, that's your problem.
Right.
And then as they explode, geysers appear on the island, which send you shooting 60,000 feet into the air because it's hot air streams sending you up. And it's in the rare art style, which means it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves is really good when you're playing it with people and you're not getting trolled by a bunch of D-bags.
Just a quick couple of asterisks there.
Yeah. But Sea of Thieves is fun. And I will probably play more Sea of Thieves this year because Game Pass subscriber, so why not?
Yeah.
Hashtag cleaning up the list. Not building the list, cleaning up the list.
Right.
I went back and played a bunch more Forza 3. Forza Horizon 3, I should say. So I'm almost done with the base game. Like, I've got like 3 achievements left in the base game.
Which ones do you have?
I've done all of the annoying ones. I've done the drift zones. I've done the all the base game stuff. I've done the annoying ones. I mentioned this specifically to my wife yesterday. I know you are disappointed that 4 does not have championships.
Correct.
I am fine with it not having championships because there's no GD achievement for doing all the championships.
For doing 5 million races.
Because I already did that with Forza Horizon 3. I did that achievement, and I don't want to do it again for 4.
Yep,
so
exactly.
I'm fine with that not being there.
Every other game they can have tournaments.
Yes. I do still need to do that achievement, however, for the Blizzard Mountain DLC and for the Hot Wheels DLC.
Oh boy, okay.
So,
but that's only like 1 million races total. It's a lot less.
Exactly. It's a lot less than the actual main Forza Horizon 3. But it's a podcast game at this point. It's stick a pair of headphones in, plow through, do a couple of races, jump onto something else. Like, it's a very good wind down kind of game.
Yeah.
Playing it makes me realize how beautiful it looks.
Yeah.
It makes me realize how beautiful Horizon 4 looks. Because 4 is a considerable step up.
Well, 3 wasn't 4K or HDR, right?
No, I'm playing the Xbox One enhanced version.
Oh, hello. Okay.
Which I think it has the 4K. I don't think it has the HDR, which is the big difference.
Right.
Yeah, but Forza Horizon, I love Forza games.
Yeah.
Like, Forza Horizon games specifically are amazing, and I'm fine with that. Okay. I'm in the process of hashtag cleaning up the list by playing through Titanfall 2 on master difficulty / getting all of the collectibles.
God, that single player is so good.
Yeah, let me tell you how I'm going to repeat exactly that phrase and say, "Oh wow, Titanfall 2 is so good."
Yeah, surprisingly for me personally.
How is that game that good? Like,
that
campaign is incredible.
I know a lot of people only remember like the high points of like the time travel level, which is really good, but I think the whole thing is really solid.
Yep. It's genuinely one of the best first-person shooter campaigns I've ever played.
Yeah.
And I did the stupid challenging achievement, which thanks, quote-unquote, Respawn for having one of these in your game, because Respawn being the former Infinity Ward people.
Yes.
Who did the stupid achievement in Modern Warfare for the plane.
Ugh, yeah.
Yeah, they got one of those in these too. As Joe in chat says, beware the achievement becomes the master. That is the plane achievement in this game. I have that achievement now.
Hey, nice.
Thankfully, there are a bajillion videos out there with different methods of doing it.
Slowing it down to like half speed.
Yes.
Yep.
I found one that worked for me. Maybe an hour and a half later, I had the achievement.
That's not so bad.
It's not so bad, but it's tough.
Yeah.
If you want the hell stories, reach out to my wife about that achievement, and she will tell you about the 3 days or wherever it was she spent headbutting herself against that achievement. Because someone said, "I don't think you'll get it," which meant
which means I have to get it. Challenge accepted.
Yep. So I did get that achievement. Literally the only things I have left in the game are 2 or 3 just miscellaneous ones. Kill 25 soldiers in 2 seconds as a Titan. I'm sure there is a level for that. I will just load that level and get it. I'm up to the ship. No, I'm about to start the knife sequence, so that should tell you how close I am to the end.
Okay, yeah, you're close.
So in like 2.5 days, I've plowed through the game on the master difficulty.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go and do that, pro tip for this 6-year-old game or whatever it is, Cloak is your friend.
That makes sense.
Because even when you're wall running, going 32 kilometers an hour or wherever it is that it says you're supposed to be going, you will be dead like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. So I just cloak, pop out, shoot a couple of people, go back in, wait for the cloak to recharge, cloak, pop out, shoot a bunch of people, so on and so forth. I'll be done with this probably by tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, because you know what? This game is going to get uninstalled after I have the achievements, because I'm not playing the multiplayer in Titanfall 2.
No, it's really good, but...
I played it for a while, and I enjoyed what I played of it, but I'm not playing it now.
Yeah.
Which has to come on my console. And I'm fine with that, but I want that. I think Titanfall 2 is one of those games that deserves, because it's doable for me. It's a single player game essentially with all the achievements are. It deserves the full 1000 tick before I uninstall it.
Yeah,
because this game is so good, and playing it on the hardest difficulty of doing the collectibles, it's a swan song to it in my eyes. Where it's like, you know what, you're great. I'll uninstall you, but I had a great time with Titanfall 2.
Good night, sweet prince.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it got the props it deserves.
No,
people, they dropped it at the worst time, like right after a Battlefield and right before a Call of Duty. So not enough people played that game, and it deserves so much more love than it actually gets.
Absolutely. And if anyone wants to play it, it's like $6 right now. Yeah,
and hashtag best robot of 2016 or whenever it came out.
Whenever it came out,
PT is amazing.
Yep, like, he's really great.
And I kind of want to... I meant to do a double check, but I kind of want to see if it's Christopher Judge doing his voice, because it sounds like Christopher Judge.
I'll look it up.
Thank you. I meant to check beforehand and then completely forgot. Oh, but yeah, Titanfall 2's got... I think they need to take a lesson from that game design for Titanfall for more games coming up. Because from what I remember, the way they made the Titanfall 2 story was they had all of their teams come up with things that was fun to do with the mechanics they had. And then they made them into levels and then wrote the story around it.
Ah, right.
So it was like, is this fun to do? Is this fun to do? Yes, no, yes, no. Here is 25 things that are fun to do while playing this game. Now write a story to go around that.
BT's voice actor is Glenn Steinbaum, who apparently is in about a bajillion things. I'm sort of trying to figure out what else he's been in.
From.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, all right, now where do I know your name from?
Yeah. I don't know. Titanfall 2 is fun. Like, it's like people always talk about first-person shooter campaigns as the moment. So, Modern Warfare 1, the nuke moment.
Right.
Modern Warfare 2, no Russian.
Right.
I'm trying to think of first-person campaigns. Doom 2016. The first in the intro sequence and the first level where he cocks his shotgun to the tune of the Doom music. That's a great moment. There are a couple of other good moments throughout that game, but that's the moment from that game. When I think of Titanfall 2, I think of not moments. BT throwing you to the top of the big tower because you need to realign the thing, and he does the fastball special.
Man.
Then there's the bit where you're trying to board the ship, but you've got no way to access the loading bay that you need to get onto. So they fly a different ship up next to it, close the doors, and you wall run off that ship to get into the other ship.
Ah, man, that was cool.
And then there's the time travel sequence, the whole sequence.
Oh, man.
Like, that's not one moment. It's just the whole game. It tells an incredible story that's fun to play, and it has one of the best characters in video games in BT.
And it never overstays its welcome. Like, the campaign is, to be fair, like 6 to 8 hours. 8 is a pretty extreme maximum. But it moves, and you have all these cool moments and all these cool levels. The beginning is a little bit vanilla, but that's not really a negative for it. It just makes all the other stuff really cool.
Yeah, and it very much has to do a case of, just in case you didn't play Titanfall 1, here's how you play.
Right, here's who the bad guys are.
Yeah. Oh wow, Titanfall 2 is so good.
Yeah,
so good. I know it's something else that popped into my head to say, and now I've forgotten it.
I think you also wanted to mention that Titanfall 2 is really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll leave it there. I'm sure it'll come back to me at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Titanfall 2. I'll almost be done with that game, and you know what? I'll uninstall it. I'll be fine with uninstalling it. I'm glad I went back and played it.
Yeah.
It's a great campaign, and I'm loving playing through it, even on the harder difficulty and the challenges that it faces. It's gonna have to get installed. This is not What Remains of Edith Finch that takes up 2 megabytes and is one of my greatest favorite games of all time.
135 gigs, like it's just massive.
It's a huge game, and they keep releasing free DLC for the multiplayer, and it keeps getting bigger.
I'm dying over here.
Exactly. So it needs to get gone, and get gone it will. But I'm glad to have this little memoir of how great that game is.
Right.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. The very, very start of the game, when you come out of the training module, the Captain Lastimosa is the guy who's training you. He has the AI core thing on him.
Oh, okay.
And he puts his knife inside of that AI core and then attaches it to his back.
Oh.
Huh. Fact, little reference that I didn't catch.
Nice.
I saw that, I was like, really? Did he seriously just...
He just did that?
Like, it's Chekhov's knife.
Right.
the first scene of the game. It's like, okay, fine, whatever, that'll do.
That's cool.
Part of my problem with my hard drive space right now is Game Pass.
Yes. Game
Pass being one of the best value for money services on offer right now, in my
almost too generous. Yeah.
So, I downloaded about 6 games, but played one.
Okay.
Called The Gardens Between.
Oh, yeah. I have this installed, and T-Bomb, community member and friend of the show, T-Bomb Rocks, told me, yo, download this and play it.
Yep. He did the same thing to me. That's why I did.
Right.
It's one of the weirdest design games I've seen in a while.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
And it's super duper charming, and it's one of those, again, it's an indie game, because I've never heard of the developer for it before. Let me see if I can break down these mechanics in a way that makes sense.
Okay.
It is a 3D diorama of a child's fantasy land, based on real life, but child's fantasy land, that you rotate, and as you rotate it, you fast forward and rewind time.
Cool. Okay.
As you explore the diorama, you have puzzles to pass. So there might be a black cloud. You can't get past the black cloud unless the female character who's carrying a little lantern has a ball of light in that lantern. So you need to fast forward and rewind time to figure out where the ball of light is, how to get it in that lamp, and then how to take that through through the cloud so the girl and the boy can go through. Really, really simple mechanics. Here's a ball of light, you hit it, you collect it, you move through the cloud. Right. Here's a switch that the boy can interact with. You hit the switch, it opens the flower that gives you the ball of light that you put in the lamp to get through the cloud. Dead simple.
Okay.
Like 5 or 6 moving parts at most.
Right.
That just goes completely batshit crazy towards the end. Mark that down, thank you very much.
Writing it down.
130 something.
129.49.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
So it's weird because it's like these 2 kids who are neighbors who share these adventures, but the game is presented from the perspective of a child, like the child's imagination.
I'm just watching the trailer here, and what's really interesting is some of these environments have the kids in it. You know, we were actually just talking about Unravel, where like some of these, the kids are normal size, and there's a giant couch in the background that's like 20 times the size of them. So it's clearly very the great scene here where a VCR spits out a tape and that makes a bridge. Like,
yep,
and the best some thing cool is, imagination.
Best thing about that is for that VCR thing, you need to manipulate time to put the boy on the rewind button on the remote to have the button, to have the VCR rewind all the way to the end, or sorry, fast forward, have him jump on the fast forward button, wait, don't touch the controller while the VCR fast forwards, and when it hits the end of the playtime, it ejects the VCR.
Cool. That's so really cool.
It's a really smart, like, time manipulation thing.
Yeah.
The dioramas themselves, they start simple and get so complicated and tell, with no words, no text, no nothing, it tells the friendship developing of these two characters. Like, there's a level with, like, you hit the levels in, like, little steps, so you do, like, 2 stages, and then it gives you a memory associated with those 2 stages. So there's a level where you're exploring, like, underground pipes and, like, sewer systems and stuff like that, and it's a very dark kind of themed level. And then once you've done that and the next level, like, the memory associated with that is, it's a picture, it's like the boy holding the girl as she reaches down to try and pick up her jacket, which has fallen down onto, like, this sewer system grate, and she's trying to pick it up so she can keep her jacket. She doesn't have it anymore after that level, so you're guessing that she doesn't actually keep the jacket.
Right.
But it's a really imaginative way of, like, it's a really simple mechanic. It's, like, literally 3 buttons. It's left and right on the stick, and it's A to interact, or if you want to more hands-free, right trigger, left trigger, and A also work, just so you don't have to sticks.
Yeah, I just looked at the company called the Voxel Agents is the studio. It's on Steam, OS X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
It's on Game Pass right now. Jump in and buy it. Like, jump in, get it, play it before it goes, because it's so charming. Like, the art style is super crisp and clean. It doesn't look cheap. It looks like they put a fair bit of money into actually...
Yeah, it's a cool style, too.
And it does some very interesting things with the time manipulation, where you'll hit a level that has a lightning storm, and you have to stop time as the lightning hits this wire so that it can charge a light bulb. But you have to stop the time with the lightning. So it's this really interesting combination of manipulating the time to get the effects you want, but at the same time not manipulating the time when something connects in a way that makes sense, like the standing on the fast forward button.
Man.
Like,
I gotta go play this. Props to T-Bomb Rocks. He was right that both of us would enjoy this.
It's a genuinely fun little game. It's well worth your time, and if you're on Xbox and you have Game Pass, it's free, so
yeah, go get it.
Download and play it. It's fun. It's genuinely a fun little game.
Yeah.
And at last, folks, we come
to the end of Moon's list.
The show with my final game of the break, which I made this joke and I'll make it again.
Okay.
I took the deepest dive into Subnautica. To the point where my wife literally said to me last week, so Subnautica's just taken over your life now? Is that right? My response was,
Shark.
Yes, it has. Because I hit that point where I think I may have mentioned it when I was talking about it at the end of last year, where the game starts slow and then it ramps up, and then all of a sudden you get really quick developments.
Right.
So I went from living in a life pod and barely touching 100 meters deep to I now have built a full habitat.
Oh.
A full underwater habitat, I should say.
Ooh.
With a nuclear power plant and fishing rods for power and scanner rooms to find some stuff. And I've got I can't even remember what the small thing's called now.
Fish?
You guys. I have a fish tank full of fish.
Ooh, nice.
It's great because you can collect eggs and put them in the big tank, and then they hatch, and you find out what each egg is. It's great. I have the smallest vehicle, which is the one-man little thing. Yeah. I had that. I then did a whole bunch of exploring, which was the biggest grind of the game. Is in order to develop tech, you need to scan tech, but to scan tech, you need to find wrecks, and if you're not careful, wrecks can be really easy to miss. But I did it. I got my tech, and I believe the achievement when you've built it is 40-foot submarine for one. Because yes, I built myself a Cyclops, which is a 40-foot submarine.
Wow.
Which has a docking bay for the little thing that can swim up inside.
Oh, cool.
Which is designed to go on deeper dives. So my maximum depth by myself, like on the little ship, it was 300 meters.
Mm-hmm.
I did upgrade that to the point where it was at the maximum upgrade now. Its maximum depth is 900 for the little thing.
Wow, okay.
But to get to that depth, you have to find very specific tunnels that go under the underground. Like, you can explore the surface level, and the maximum depth you'll hit is maybe 400 meters deep. But then if you get a little scanner proprietary technology going on, and then you look around, you'll see tunnels that go deep, like real deep underground.
Okay.
So this being a survival game, I have a problem with survival games and collections and things like that, where I learned really quickly that you have a tool, the habitat builder, that you build your habitat with, and you build like the different pods, the different sections, stuff like that. You can build storage lockers inside of your habitat. So in my habitat, I may or may not have had one room, just a circular room of lockers, labeled with what every single thing was.
Sounds right, yeah.
And then I built the Cyclops, which is the 40-foot submarine. And then I may have realized that you can put lockers inside of the Cyclops.
Oh no.
So now my Cyclops is full of lockers.
You have a mobile storage pod.
Each one of them labeled with exactly what is inside of it. Because I want to go deeper underground. I want to Jamiroquai this. I want to...
It's a good reference.
Come on. That was a good one. I'm so
that was
proud
a good
of
one.
that.
Yeah, I got to give you that one.
So I want to go deeper, but I'm not going to swim. I'm not going to burn through all of my power cells to take my Cyclops all the way underwater and then bring it all the way back up whenever I need supplies or stuff. May have spent 2 days just stocking up my Cyclops with everything I might need from the surface. So that, let's say I suddenly need a coral shell sample, which is on the shallows. I'm not going to swim 800 meters through these tunnels and these monsters to back to the surface to get it. So I just built lockers for everything in my Cyclops and spent 2 days filling them up.
You just want to be prepared.
Everything. I've got like 2 years worth of food and water on my Cyclops.
There you go.
Because I needed to.
You don't know how deep it's going to go.
I don't. I know it goes at least like 1,300 meters, and I don't know how to get there.
Right.
So the last time I played Subnautica, I was in my Cyclops, and then I did enough like exploring, getting a bunch of stuff. I found a prawn suit. Yeah, see that face? That face is exactly what I thought when I heard the word prawn suit.
Go on.
The prawn suit is a mech suit.
Oh, that's really good.
You can put a drill arm on.
Oh, that's not what I was expecting.
And a big fist.
Great.
And a torpedo launcher.
So you're just a big daddy at that point?
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Because there's big outcrops of like resources that you can get. It's like, oh, this is a lead deposit. You need special tools to get this. It's like,
I got him.
How do I get that? Turns out you get a prawn suit and you build a drill arm, and then you sit there and go with this giant drill arm.
Prawn suit.
Yeah. The name does not do it justice, but it's a really smart name.
Man.
And the best thing is the prawn suit docks into the Cyclops in the same way that the little ship does.
Oh, nice.
So I can literally just take my Cyclops, go kind of close to the whatever floor I'm at, like whatever close to the actual seabed, jump in my prawn suit, come straight out of the Cyclops, and then just go wandering around the seabed.
Right.
Because, I want to be under the sea. And get a whole bunch of resources, and the prawn suit has storage on it, so it's got huge storage on it. And then you just go back to your base, you're back to your Cyclops, you jump up, it takes the prawn suit back in, and then you're back in the Cyclops, and it's safe and sound. Minus Leviathans attacking you and all that kind of junk. Which, the Cyclops has a silent running mode. It's a proper submarine.
That's really good.
This game is amazing. Like,
yeah, man.
I was so interested in this game from like day one. I was like, I'm not gonna we've made some good bets on our early access games on the Xbox.
Yep.
Elite Dangerous, Astroneer, 7 Days to Die.
Right.
Subnautica I wasn't sure about. I waited until it came out of early access, then I bought it like day one so I could play it on my stream. Subnautica does so many things right that other games could learn from.
Mm.
And this game is my life now.
I live underwater.
Yes, I literally live underwater right now. It's the most relaxing thing. Correction. It's a very relaxing game. It's so fun. You hear that in the distance from like friendly giant sea turtles, essentially in the distance. You're like, oh, relaxing underwater. And then every now and again, occasionally, more frequently than I'd like to admit, you do get the "oh my word, no, 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 no!" as you get picked up by a Leviathan and start getting carried away, and you're just
that's terrifying.
Yes, especially because they pick you up by these like things which are like these little grabby things which are right in front of its mouth.
Oh no!
So the camera suddenly just has this Leviathan face in your vision, and you have like different abilities. Like you can put like pulse things on your vehicles so that it's like go away, just go away, like a spray bottle for cats, except for underwater giant Leviathans.
Go.
So you can do it,
right?
But sometimes you don't expect it, and then suddenly you're terrified because it's like expletives out of my mouth constantly as I'm punching this thing in the face with my prawn suit, trying to get it to drop me. It's so good, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good.
Oh man.
So yeah, my final game is Subnautica, and I'm gone. I live in my Cyclops with my prawn suit.
Find me underwater.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. What have you been playing, Boston?
I have a half the list you do. So, I
also have twice the children I do.
Yes, that's true. 100% more children.
Yes.
So my list is not in any order. So apologies in advance. I platinumed Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
And uninstalled it.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Yeah. The last achievement I needed was to upgrade the ship, which it took me a while to figure out that they patched that. It was like version 1.07 or something like that. Before so it was
even more stuff.
Yeah, like before that, it was. I was looking at screenshots of it because someone's like, "God, this trophy's so easy. You should just get it while you're playing." And I'm like, "No, I'm grinding for 15 hours." And I saw before it was 4 pips to upgrade each one.
Now it's like 6 or something?
Yeah, it's like 6 or 7. And the last one for each one of these categories was thousands of each item. So like the rocks and the wood and all that stuff. And 20,000 gold each. Yeah. So I had to spend... I
feel your pain because I did the exact same thing and left that achievement until really late. It was like, what?
Yeah. I was working on it the whole time. And so I had to just basically sail around and blow up as many ships as I could possibly do, and that got me it. So I'm done with Assassin's Creed Odyssey for a while.
Pirate Legend Boston.
Yeah, exactly. I know there's free DLC that's out right now. There are some like free missions and stuff. I'm a little bit burnt out. I'd prefer to wait until the all that DLC that's coming out on the season pass, until all that's out. Moon, you and I have been keeping an eye on this DLC, and everyone's like, "Hey man, it's really good."
Really good.
And both of us are like, "Okay, just we gotta wait. It's not all out yet. Just there's a season pass. Don't buy it."
I will get the season pass when it goes on sale.
Yeah, and that's sort of my thing is I have the season pass wish listed on PSN. Keep an eye on it every once in a while. You know, I'll get it when it's down to $20 or less. Go through all that stuff. Go through all the DLC. I won't 100%, you know, all the rest of the stuff because I'm not that interested.
I will.
You're crazy. But you know, I am excited to play more Assassin's Creed Odyssey specifically, especially because people are saying that the DLC, was it the First Blade something like
yes,
that?
I believe that's what it's called.
That stuff ties more directly into, bridges the gap between Odyssey and Origins, which I think I find really interesting. So for the moment, I'm done with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I still really liked it. Even though the getting the platinum, there's just that one trophy that sucked. All the other ones were surprisingly easy.
Yep.
Just that one that was.
It's just the fact that they patched in 2 more pips for every single classification. It was like, really? Why'd you
really?
Go
why? Why would you? Why do you hate me? Yeah. Destiny 2 Black Armory. Not a lot to talk about here because we're sort of
show off on your RNG, you big show off.
Which RNG this time?
You know the one where you got a rifle that's pretty much spot on to what everybody's been grinding for.
The God Roll of Blast Furnace.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so good. God, it's so good. It's stupid good. I won't go inside baseball about why it's really good.
I was reading up on this, and I can't believe you.
Yeah, for anyone that's playing it right now, I got the Feeding Frenzy Rampage build of that, and it's stupid good.
That sounds like a free-to-play shark game on your mobile phone, by the way.
Yeah. But I haven't played a lot of this because we're sort of in the holiday lull. Most of Bungie takes sort of 2 weeks off. They probably stole it from us. So there hasn't been a new chapter of Black Armory for the last couple of weeks, so I thought, why not take it easy? You know, do a little bit here every week, do some milestones, but I'm not really interested in kind of grinding too much right now.
Yeah.
I did open the 3rd Forge. The 4th Forge will be opening, 4th and final Forge should be opening this upcoming week on the 8th. But the 3rd Forge, the quest line to unlock that sucked. Just flat out, it was way too long, and one of the steps inside of it was do a special version of the Nightfall. And I was like, great, cool. I'm super high level. Nightfall is like, I'm 650 now, and I think the Nightfall is like 500, 540. I was like, I should have this down pat.
Yeah.
I go in there, solo, make it all the way up to the end boss, die, and it kicks me out to orbit. I did not realize they put the extinguish modifier on it, which they did not tell you that beforehand. So if you die, if the whole fire team dies, get kicked back to orbit.
Oh, wow.
So got a group together on Reddit. We knocked it out in like 7 minutes because as long as you have someone else there, super easy.
Yeah.
And it took me playing, not a ton, because I don't get a ton of time to play every day. It took me 3 days to unlock the Forge. It's a really long quest line. And Bungie figured out right before Black Armory came out, they figured out how to make these unlocks account-wide, but they only did it for one thing that's a Crucible questline. Basically, they're tying some of these unlockables to triumphs, their in-game achievement system. I really wish they would have done that for this, because my other 2 characters don't have any forges unlocked. So I would have to go do all this stuff with them as well, as opposed to, here's this long, tough mission. You'll get a triumph, which unfortunately you don't. You should get a triumph, and then it's just unlocked for everyone. That would be really great, but you don't.
Yeah.
The upside is, that's the best Forge, and it's easily the most fun out of all 3 of them. The first one is fine. Second one is not great. Third one is a Vex-themed one, and what makes it so fun is when you come in, there's a main island that has the Forge on it, and there are 2 smaller islands that are set away and down from the main island. Basically, what you're supposed to do is everybody splits up, and you go to each one of your islands, and because the main island is higher than the other 2, the people on the side islands are going to kill the enemies that drop the charges and chuck them up onto the top island. So if you're up there, like I usually am, you have these charges flying at you from all over the place, and instead of focusing on killing enemies, you're just focusing on catching or picking those up. jumping through the air and tossing them at the forge as fast as you humanly can, and it's so much fun. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm glad they had so many different ideas for these forges, because I know the one that I'm going to play when I just want to play a forge, and it's going to be that one, because it's just it's stupid fun.
It's like bringing stuff like Lucio Ball into Overwatch. It's like just do something random and see how it sticks.
Yeah, and crazily enough, it's really fun to chuck balls at other people and have them throw them in Forge. Like, crazy. But Destiny 2, so far Black Armor is still good. The surprising thing about it is, remember I talked when it came out in, was it late November, early December, about the level scaling issues when you start?
Mm-hmm.
The weird part is each Forge's power level requirements have not increased. So they all go from 610 to 630. In the first one, the second one, and the third one, there's not any increase in difficulty, which seems really weird. I don't. It's that design decision baffled the first week and baffles at week 5.
Dude, they were probably also full of Thanksgiving turkey that they forgot.
That's true. I mean, I was, so I can't blame them. Next up, I played more Below.
Okay.
I don't like Below.
Is this the game?
Yeah. What's that?
You texted me about a game.
Yes. Yeah. I so strongly dislike Below in nearly every way that it presents itself as a game. And part of it is I'm tired. I'm tired of food and water meters and coldness meters and that affecting your health and you needing to manage that. I'm so tired of that. I don't want to do it. I want to do it in Don't Starve, a survival game, or something like Subnautica, a survival game. But when that stuff starts to bleed into a game like Below that feels... It doesn't feel like a survival game. It feels like an exploration, dungeon crawling, sort of roguelike thing. All it does is serve to make the game not more difficult. It does, but to make it frustrating. Because either you're always managing it, and you're always picking up stuff from, you kill a fox and you pick up a morsel and you eat it, or you pick up some mushrooms and you eat those and that helps you. And either you're managing that constantly, or you're like me and you make the meter go away, and
then you forget.
You forget until it starts sapping your health, and then it just pisses you off because now you have to go in your inventory and either make soup or eat something, or it's just such a bummer. Combining that frustration, which I really dislike, combined with the combat in this game not feeling right. And I'm frustrated because I wish I knew how to explain this better, but it feels like there's a disconnect between the input you're putting in your controller and the actions on the screen. Like, it doesn't feel like every time I pull the right trigger that I'm causing my character to swing a sword. There feels like there's enough disconnect, or maybe it's a delay or something, that it just doesn't feel right. And that stuff combined makes playing Below really frustrating. And I'm really bummed out because obviously, I've been looking forward to Below since Cappy announced it 5 years ago at this point. And I always thought it looked really cool, and it still does. Like, the scale of it, and the art style, and the music, and God, Jim Guthrie's soundtrack for this is so good. And, like, unveiling the fog in these areas with your lantern or your torch, looks good. Like, you're exploring cool-looking places. It is just no fun to play. And
yeah,
that's... the thing that pissed me off so much and made me stop playing this game is I started having a good run. And I got through the first couple floors. You go through, like, floor 1, 2, 3, and I feel pretty good. I found, like, a piece of armor, and I found a shield, and I'm making my way through the dungeon. Everything feels... it feels like it's clicking. And I get in this elevator, and I was expecting it to take me back to the surface. Because every once in a while you'll find elevators take you up to the surface and open a shortcut, sort of Souls style.
Yeah.
I get in there, and it takes me down, and suddenly I go from floor 3 to floor 18.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay, did I find a shortcut, or did I make a mistake? I'm not entirely sure, because below doesn't tell you anything. So I start going down there, and I started sort of fighting more humanoid enemies, which is something I'm sort of not feeling in the game. And I'm doing all right, and there are new traps that I'm dealing with. And then I get hit with an arrow trap that I knew was there, and I was preventing myself from getting hit by it, because you can sort of hold out your shield and sidestep along, so the arrows are going to hit your shield.
Yeah.
But out of nowhere, one of those humanoid enemies runs up to me, hits me while I have my shield out in the arrow trap, and then I get juggled between the two. Every time he stops hitting me, arrow hits me. Once I'm done with that, he hits me. They kill me.
Yeah.
I'm now at the very beginning of the game with no equipment, no lantern, none of that stuff, with a shortcut that is nowhere near my corpse, with virtually no tools to get back to where my corpse is.
Okay.
And my corpse didn't have a lot of tools on it to begin with, because other than, like, my armor and my shield, I didn't really have much fuel left for my lantern. Not enough to create one of those blue fires that teleports you down to where you were. Mm-hmm. And then I'm not entirely sure how I would fight back to my corpse to get nothing to continue on deeper down. So I'm done. Like, to me, if I was having a better time playing it, or if all of this stuff in the game was coming together a little bit better, that corpse run would feel exciting, because I would be going back to where I was, where I died, with less tools, and if I would struggle through it and get to that point with fewer pieces of equipment, less health and stuff like that, that would have felt like an accomplishment. But as soon as I died and this person jumped out of a boat on that beach, I'm done. I can't do it.
Oh, this makes me sad.
Yeah, and I'm so bummed, because when I got down to floor 18, suddenly I'm in this dead city, and I'm able to explore all these buildings, and I'm seeing new enemies, and I'm seeing new traps, and there are treasure chests all around, so I'm getting a whole bunch of stuff, but the game overall just never completely came together, and that it's just really frustrating. I really wanted to like it, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah, this feels a little bit like the weird face mask game that is on Xbox that the company that Microsoft bought the studio for.
Face mask game?
Yeah, looks a little bit like BioShock. You take Joy, British policeman.
Oh, We Happy Few.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think
so much promise and then so disappointment.
With We Happy Few, I feel like that's similar but a little different, because you watch those original trailers and it's like, okay, cool, this is going to be like a British BioShock, and it's like, it sure isn't. It's a survival game. It's like, that, what? I feel like below, we knew so little about it for a long time that they were saying like, oh, there's crafting and exploring, and that sounds cool, but they had all these ideas, and it all never really came together.
Yeah.
And that just, it sucks.
Like, I know they delayed this game for a long time because, as they put it themselves, it was not fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a Beats by Dragon situation where they should have just cancelled it?
I don't know, because I feel like...
Does this have an audience?
Yeah, I feel like it does have an audience. And there have been... once I was done with it, I went to go look at reviews and just say, like, is it me? Like, am I the only one that doesn't like this game, or is it... And it seems fairly split 50-50. There are people that are like, look, Below is incredible. It's my game of the year. I really dug all this stuff. And they like the exploration and the Soul-style stuff that's presenting. And then there are people on my side of the fence just saying, like, it just didn't come together. Like, there are cool ideas here that maybe independently seem really great, but it never becomes the sum of its parts. So I'm glad...
You're not the first person I've seen say pretty much exactly what you've just said about it.
Yeah. And
so
it breaks my heart because I really love Cappy's games, and I really wanted to see them have a big breakout game, especially after Below had such a troubled development, especially because they were so honest. Like you said, they kept delaying and saying, like, look, it's not fun. Like, we haven't found how to make it fun yet. And whether or not I believe that it's fun or not, I really hoped that they could come out and have a winner of a game, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should play this at some point.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what your impressions are, because I know you won't color your impressions based on mine. You'll be able to go in with a sort of clear mind.
Yeah, it also helps that I'm the masochist out of the two of us.
Yeah, and I feel like the thing is I'm trying to get better about not falling to the sunk cost fallacy. Like, just because I spent a dozen hours with Below and I'm still not having fun with it, my natural inclination is I'll just keep plugging away at it, and I bet that I can get to the fun. You know, like, if I spend 10 more hours and I get to floor 20 or 30, or I have no idea how far it goes down, but maybe that's where it all clicks. Maybe I get a new sword and it's super cool, but...
Yeah, you don't want to do the, whatever it was, Final Fantasy...
13. It gets great after 40 hours, and it did!
Yep.
But that's 40 hours of... You know, like, it's just... And not saying the Below is that, but... Below might get better, but, like, I have so many other games to play that... Yep. If I'm not having fun after 12 hours, that's fine. You know, it's not... I can't get stuck with sunk cost. I just need to move on.
And it helps that you didn't technically pay anything for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that it's a game club game. Hopefully they're getting compensated well for being part of that program. And I hope they stick with it, and I hope that they patch it, or they do something, or at the very least just learn that, you know, sometimes maybe it's okay to pull the plug.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did finish the story of Yoku's Island Express on my PS4.
Awesome.
That game is still really great. That ending is still really great. It's an ending I super don't want to spoil, because I think the story beats they take for like that last hour are still really, really good, and those boss battles are all really great. I forgot that you totally launch a rocket into space. Yep. It just... man, that game is really great. I got to the same point I got on the Switch, which is, all right, let's wrap up all the post-game stuff. And then I started playing other stuff. So I'd like to 100% that game at some point. Not a high priority.
Honestly, it's a good game, like, when you're feeling a bit blah and you don't know what to play.
Yep.
It's a good game to just jump in and be like, oh, what do I need to do? And
it's the happiest game.
Yeah, and then you just look and be like, okay, there's mail I need to deliver. Let's go do that.
I'm a pinball dung beetle. Let's deliver some mail.
Yep.
Yeah. Short little note here. I bought the Lego Harry Potter collections, the 2 Harry Potter games. It was on sale during Christmas for, like $14, something like that.
Wasn't that right before it got ripped down from stores?
No, that's Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Those just got ripped off of Steam, but I don't know if they're on other platforms or not. I don't remember.
They're definitely on 360.
Yeah. I did purchase it right before I got sick, which was really good timing because that's not a mentally taxing game.
No. You smash the stuff, you get the bits.
Yeah.
You hope that your cat doesn't attack the screen because of all the Lego.
Yeah, you hold circle and you magic all the bits together. Like it's. I don't need to talk more about it because it's gonna be one of those games that I plug away at little by little over the next year or so, and then at the end of it, I'll have 2 more platinums and say, yeah, those games are still good because they're still good.
Please go listen to me talk about Lego Marvel Avengers this time last year, and then finish it like 2 months ago or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Binding of Isaac, Rebirth, Afterbirth Plus. The patch, the Forgotten update finally came out on PS4. It is in approval for Switch. There is no news for the Xbox version.
Hold on, let me
just
get my handkerchief out and pretend to be shocked.
I wrote on Twitter that I'm really tired of feeling like a second-class citizen for a lot of these indie games by playing them on console and not playing them on PC. Switch, in some cases, is a little bit better, but that happened with Moonlighter as well, which is a game that is fine, but they had a big patch that resolves a lot of problems come out on PC, and it's still not out on consoles after a couple of months.
So it's one of 2 things. They either need to speak to the first party people, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, about reducing prices of patching, because I'm sure it's expensive to patch.
It has to still be.
But at the same time, know what you're getting into. Yeah. Like, if you're going to release this and you don't plan on keep maintaining parity with everything else, then don't release it on those platforms.
Well, and there's companies, there's porting companies that can probably help them too. Of course, for a cost, and I'm sure that's not cheap either. But like Bluepoint and companies like this that, one of those porting companies ported that stuff ported Crypt and the Necrodancer to consoles and to Switch. Like that's.
I'm pretty sure Bluepoint also did the Metal Gear Solid games.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Well, I mean, come on.
It's frustrating.
Our best example of this is The Binding of Isaac, because you've only just got the Forgotten update for the PlayStation 4.
Right.
It's been out on PC for how long
now? Months. Probably around 6 months at least.
When's the DLC coming to the Xbox again?
No one knows.
Yeah, so
the frustrating part is the designer of the game, Ed McMillan, doesn't know, and I don't expect him to, because he designs the game, and Nicholas and the team over there develops it and codes it and releases it, and once he designs it, it's sort of in other people's hands. So I don't expect him to know, but I do expect Nicholas as a company to have any level of transparency at all. And there's none.
I'm not gonna lie, I follow Nicholas on Twitter. At this point, every single time I see their name come up, I'm tempted to respond to their tweet with Isaac DLC for Xbox ?
You don't have to worry, because that's all the comments are on every Twitter post they have, because I follow them too, and it's a lot of Isaac Xbox when. And it's really frustrating. And it's really frustrating too, because this update is really good on PS4. It has all the Forgotten stuff. It has the missing HUD. It has charge bars. It has finally quick reset on consoles. You hold in L3 and R3 for a couple seconds and it resets your run. It's all the stuff you wanted that is just really late. And the frustrating part is there's no transparency on the front end before the patch comes out. And then Tyrone, who works at Nicholas, put something up, it was December 24th, saying, hey, it's going to come out pretty soon. It came out that same day for PS4. It's just in the hands of Sony and Nintendo for when they want to release it. But there's no real information on why it took this long. Like, I'm really curious about, not to blame them, but I'm really curious about why it took so long, just from a development standpoint. Like, was it certification for consoles that's famously very difficult to complete? Was it a financial thing, like you said?
At this point, the whole certification thing, I don't buy that no more. That's not an excuse if you look at some of the complete dross that is released on Switch, Xbox, and Sony's platforms. Look at some of the dross that comes out. I don't buy no certification BS as an excuse anymore.
Well, I could understand it for Isaac because it's such a complex game that there's so much stuff you have to test that going through that certification testing is probably very difficult. But from my standpoint, not to like kick it back in their face, but like, why did it take so long? Like, what was the problem? So many developers nowadays are so happy to say, like, look, we're really sorry. Like, Dodge Roll Games is my favorite example for Enter the Gungeon. They came out recently and said, like, hey man, we're coming out with one more patch and then we're done because of these 10 reasons. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, I'd be happy with them saying, like, this is the final patch, and then we're going to move on to other stuff. That'd be great. But getting to peek behind the curtain to see, here's the difficulties we're running into. We broke our own engine because we were, really inexperienced in this stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I would really love to see that stuff for Isaac, because I feel like Isaac is not being... As one of my favorite games of all time, the franchise feels like it's not being treated very well at Nicholas.
No, it's not.
Consoles aside.
In all honesty, I had never heard of Nicholas until dealing with this whole Binding of Isaac BS with the Xbox version versus everything else. It seems to me that they, and I might be wrong when I say this, I think Isaac on publishing deals is the thing that put them on the map. And they, every day it feels like they're announcing a new game that they're publishing or a new thing that they're putting out. It's like,
they have a lot of irons in the fire right now. I
hate to phrase it this way, but don't forget where you came from.
Sure. Well, and the frustrating part is that the Isaac community is one that is stable, not insane, and loyal. And I feel like it only continues to grow over time, especially when the Switch version came out. God, so many people played that.
If you want loyalty, go and look up the Binding of Isaac 4 Souls Kickstarter / watch our pre-show video.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's Ed has done right by fans, and fans do right by Ed. Like, it's usually a really healthy sort of thing. But I feel like that has broken down with Nicholas, and it's really frustrating. And part of it is because I love Isaac so much, and I want to keep supporting it. I want to keep playing it, and it makes it really hard. And Moon and I had a conversation, for any listeners, before we went off on our break, saying, like, look, Isaac, it's only going to get bigger, and there's the I don't even remember the
Legend of Bumbo.
No, the Immortal DLC for Isaac, whatever the next paid DLC is that the guy who made Afterbirth is working with Ed on to continue to expand Isaac. I don't even want to guess on when that's going to come to consoles. So
I'll tell you when it's going to come. It's going to come with the next generation of consoles when you have to rebuy the games all over again.
Right before Isaac 3 comes out, the Immortal update will come out for Rebirth. And part of it is, for us, is the hard thing of, we enjoyed doing the Binding of Moonpier, but how long can we keep waiting between updates on a game for a show that we like doing a lot, as opposed to, well, let's just restart on PC, because obviously that's the place to be. And that's really frustrating. And, like, you're totally right. The Legend of Bumbo is going to be another game. I'll have to buy that on PC, because they don't even know if they're going to put it out on consoles. And
I'm not going to lie, at this point, if I see Nicholas as the developer on a game on a console, I ain't buying it. I just don't care. I'm not buying any game that they put out on consoles, because I cannot. They have a proven track record now. They cannot keep things even close to parity with the PC version. Warframe is a perfect example of this, and Warframe is a very big game. You might not think it's a very big game, but it's a globally big game.
Yep.
I don't know. I doubt Isaac is as big as it, but Isaac has probably got more people willing to drop the big bucks on it than Warframe has.
Right.
But Warframe uses PC as testing ground, and guess what? Shortly thereafter, they have updated their much more complicated, in my opinion, like engine, software, everything like that on the consoles to match the parity on the PC version.
Yeah, they're always like 2 patches behind, or 2 or 3 patches, and that's fine.
And that's fine. It's to be expected. Diablo does the same thing. Like PC gets patches, then Diablo on the consoles get them later. And I get that that's a multi-billion-dollar mega core.
Sure.
And then it's a very dedicated like base. But look at Elite. Elite is another great example of this.
Yeah.
Which is probably not as big as Isaac.
Right.
And yet still, they somehow keep their console version updated, and you can't tell me that that thing's not complicated.
Well, and I think as a more direct comparison, we can look at Enter the Gungeon, who has a smaller team developing it than Nicholas has in total. No one really knows who or how many people are working on Binding of Isaac, except for Tyrone and the new programmer, who I don't remember his name yet. And they keep fairly within a couple of weeks. PC will get the update, obviously, because it's much easier to put out something on Steam, money and certification-wise. And then within a couple of weeks, it shows up on consoles without any problem. And there's like a 5-person team. So, yeah. We don't like Nicholas. Long story short. Binding of Isaac is a game that I love. It's one of my favorite games of all time, obviously. I just want to see someone do right by it, and I can understand Ed's loyalty to Tyrone, and Tyrone is head of Nicholas. I just wish it was in a better position, and I don't know if it ever will be. So, Legend of Bobo on PC, here I come.
I mean, I'm curious if Tyrone is one of these people who's like, no, this is my project. Nobody else gets to work on this. This is me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't know anything about Nicholas. So, other than they're putting out a metric ton of games every year.
Oh, you want a cross-generational platform beat-em-up game and fighting game with bajillion different characters from different games, including Isaac.
Right.
Here you go.
And then that same thing as Puzzle Fighter. You also have that.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Whatever.
Huge props to Monkey Senior from the community. They bought me a copy of Katamari Damacy Reroll on the Switch. So I've played...
Same. I'm very much looking forward to playing my PC version, which I received from the same person.
Oh, that's right. They put it on PC. Yeah. Number one, still a great game. One of the best games of all time. Easily one of the best soundtracks of all time. I love it. Yeah. Little ducks, geese quacking on the side. It runs really great. It is really smooth. The PS2 version had some performance issues. That game was very big for the PS2. Runs really great. Load times are really great. Looks very sharp. That was a fairly... not simplistic game, but stylistically it was very clean, very sharp.
Yeah.
And sort of smoothing all that stuff out makes the game look really great. Really weird to not play it on a PS2 controller, because I'm so used to the sticks being together like the prince's hands are together on the Katamari. So doing like that back and forth dash move feels really weird with your thumbs at either side of the screen. Not a deal breaker, just one of those things where it's like, oh, this doesn't feel right.
I can't wait to play it with my asymmetrical sticks.
Yeah, like it was a lot like playing it on 360, where it's like, this is fine, just feels a little weird, and it takes like a level or two to get used to. There's not really a lot to say about this game, because they just took the first game and they put it on Switch and PC, and it runs really great. Only thing I sort of wish they would have done is they would have taken the first game and We Love Katamari, the second game, put them in one package together. I feel like at that point that would have been a no-brainer. It's like, these are the two best ones, pick up this package, play. These are the ones you have to play.
Yeah.
If you play the other ones, fine. Like Beautiful Katamari was great. Was that the PS3 one or no? That was the 360 one. PS3 one was really good too. But like the first two are the ones you really have to play. But yes, 2 thumbs up. Runs great, sounds great, looks great. It's Katamari.
2 thumbs up or 2 thumbsticks up?
Haha. There we go. And last but not least, I started Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4.
Yeah.
My
Tell me about this.
Says I'm 35% of the way through.
35% completion?
Yes.
Okay, so you're probably about halfway through the story.
I don't know if that counts the DLC, because I bought the deluxe edition, so it has the whole, everything was on sale. So I bought the deluxe edition because I heard the DLC is fine, and I figured I'm going to start it. I'll also just have the DLC wrapped in.
Yeah, I've heard, I think it's 4 DLC packs. I've heard good, meh, great.
Yes, I have also heard that. The weird part is when you go to your DLC tab in the game, obviously it just has like main story selected, and you can go pick one of the DLC. I just wanted to go look at if there was like a description or something, and it pops up and says, you shouldn't play this right now. You can. You're super low level. Go play more Spider-Man. I was like, oh, okay. I don't want you to check it out. Like, don't yell at me.
Alexa, what's my level?
Right. Yeah. I'm level 14 because I need one more point to make another No, I don't remember. Make a gadget. Upgrade a gadget. Something. Marvel's Spider-Man is really hard because I don't have a lot to add to it other than, yes, it's as good as everyone has said. And
yep.
Yeah, it looks really great in 4K. Boy, that HDR is great. Like, you can see the texture on the suit. Like, that stuff is... Man, that stuff's good.
Hey, Boston, tell me about them windows.
Them windows are good. There was a mission... There's a side mission where you had to, like, plaster yourself on the side of a building and take pictures of, like, a whiteboard through the windows. I was like, this is cool. Yep. It's like... It's such a dumb video game thing where everyone's like, yeah, take pictures through the windows. And you and I are like, the windows! Look, you can see the... Like, it's... Video games have come a long way and have not at the same time.
Yeah, because these people don't understand what it's like to run through basically a copy-paste texture of different tower blocks with cardboard discernible buildings. Yeah.
I mean, the movement feels perfect. The swinging, it's one of those things where the game starts you off and it's like, hold R2 to swing. I was like, all right, that's cool. Ooh, this feels good. And it's just sort of like, oh, wait, I was supposed to do something. I'm just swinging around the city and just like holding the 2 triggers to hit something. And then I just upgraded the thing where if you hit X, as soon as you hit, you do that explosion and just, God, it's so good. And it just...
Have you done the water tower zip yet?
Yep. That's really great.
How great does that feel?
It's really great. And part of what I really like about it is I don't feel... Number one, I activated all the police towers or the monitoring towers or whatever they are. There's like 9 of them, I think. And I got the trophy for doing all of them. And I was like, oh, that's how big the game is. Like, it's pretty tiny. And playing this after playing Odyssey, I was just like, thank God.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yep. Thank you, Samik.
I made the mistake of doing it the other way. I did Spider-Man first and then Odyssey.
Yeah. Playing it, I was just like crying tears of joy. Like, oh, thank you. I can finish this.
When you look at that start screen and you highlight like a zone and it's like you've got thug crimes and question mark, and there's like 9 series of question marks. Like, oh, that's not too bad.
Right. Yeah, and it's like I like that you get, you know, X out of Y for each category of things you can do in each, and then each section says like overall completion of the zone is X%. That's really great. And I like that I don't get punished. First time you can get loose in the world, okay, I'm going to collect I'm going to take pictures of all the buildings backpacks. And get all the backpacks and get all that stuff. And once I'm all done with that, I'll go fight a boss battle or 2. And then you fight 2 boss battles back to back. They're like 10 minutes each. That's fine. Now I can go to research stations. Let's do all those. And that flow feels really great to me, especially coming off of Assassin's Creed, where it's like, you cannot go in that zone. That's level 45. You're level 12. You cannot do that. Spider-Man's like, I don't know, man, just swing around the city. Whatever. It's really fun to play.
Yep.
And that the design ethos, the differentiation between those two is playing Spider-Man is like a cold drink on a hot day where you're like, oh, this is good.
Yep.
Yuri Lowenthal is perfect as Peter.
Yes, and his wife is perfect as Yuri, which is really weird.
Yeah. I like the MJ stuff. I am seeing, after watching some of the original trailers, I'm seeing the bad guy coming a mile away, which is fine.
Which one?
Mr. Negative or whatever.
Yes,
Negative Man.
okay.
Yeah. One negative I have about this game that's really weird. What's that?
I said, one negative.
Hey. The faces look a little weird in some cutscenes.
It happens every once in a while, but to be honest, it's barely noticeable throughout the majority of them.
Yeah, and it's weird where it's like, this game looks really great, and then they have like a scene in the diner, and like MJ and Peter's face look weird. Like the textures are off or something. Like it looks weird. And then like the camera cuts, and there's Stan Lee, and he looks great, and like the rest of the game looks great. And I was like, okay, that's weird.
And Otto looks incredible as well. Like his his performance throughout the entirety of the game is so incredible.
And I really like who they got to voice cast. Well, everybody, but especially Norman Osborn. Like his voice actor just plays that sliminess so well. Especially like the first time you meet him, and it's like, I'm gonna call the mayor's office, and Norman Osborn comes in. I was like, oh yeah, it's him. And then someone calls him Mayor Osborn. I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yep.
That was it. Marvel Spider-Man is really great, and it's one of those games that would have ended up on my top 10 had I played it in time. But I'm glad that
you're not rushing it.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm taking the time, because like I'll play it one day pretty seriously, and I'll get through a bunch of missions and collect a bunch of stuff. I won't play it for 3 or 4 days. I'll go, I gotta play some Spider-Man. And I'll play hardcore for one day and then take a week off. And after the rush to the end of 2018, that feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I wish I had more to add, but you have said everything on this show that I feel like needs to be said, and it showed up in so many top 10 lists this year. They all said the same things. I will just echo that stuff, and it's great. One of 2018's best games.
Have you remained spoiler-free-ish on the game?
I think so. I feel like I've probably heard 1 or 2 spoilers here or there, but it was probably so long ago that I don't remember.
The fact that you said I think so tells me yes, you have.
Okay. Yeah. And that's kind of exciting, because I know that and it probably would have come up in like we talked about earlier, Giant Bomb's Game of the Year stuff.
Several times it does.
Perfect. So I'm glad that I got Red Dead Redemption 2's big story beat spoiled for me, which is great, because I'm not going to play that. It sounds dumb anyway.
The funny thing is that makes me want to play that game.
Oh,
the
really?
game makes me not want to play the game.
Interesting. But yeah, I'm glad I haven't really had anything spoiled, because I'm not really in it for the story. Like, I'm not the world's biggest Spider-Man fan. I don't hate Spider-Man. I was more of an X-Men person. I'm more of an X person than really anything else. Like, when I was a kid, that was what I gravitated towards.
Yeah.
But I've always liked, it's like Batman. I've always liked Spider-Man and Batman, but they were never the first ones I would go to read.
Yeah.
And playing this, I really like it. I wish I knew more about Spider-Man so I could get some of the references from the backpacks and stuff.
There's some really dumb ones in there.
Yeah. And
like his spider wings.
Yeah. And I kind of like that I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, because My favorite suit in the game so far, visuals-wise, is the default one with like the big white spider on it.
Oh, you like white Spidey?
I love how that looks because I like the dichotomy between the red and the blue, the standard red and blue, and then there's just this big white spider that I know virtually nobody else loves, but I really do.
I really like that suit, except for the white booties. If it wasn't for
the white booties are not great. But I like the white piping on some of it.
Oh,
like, the rest of it looks really cool.
The chest design is incredible. Like the new layout for that spider is amazing.
Yeah.
It's just the white booties, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure we got a show title because of those white booties.
Little white spider booties, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just I ended up going with the homecoming outfit throughout the rest of that game.
Yeah, they just patched in the
No, they didn't. Don't you dare say they patched in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man one, because clearly,
they did.
In case you... No, they did not, because the piping is not correct and the color coordination is not correct. And oh my god, these people are so terribly sad.
I hate video game fans. They've been the worst to Insomniac, a company who put out a really great game, and these pissy babies. Whatever. Yep. Shut up, pissy babies.
Like, I saw the fact that it was like, oh, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man outfit is there. It's like, number one, those movies are good. They are not classic. Number two,
they're solid.
Number two, stop being so pathetic. Who cares if it's not pixel perfect?
Right.
The Homecoming one isn't. It looks it, but it isn't. I know it isn't. Nothing is, but it's still a cool looking outfit. I'll take it. It even does the zzz thing with the eyes.
Oh, does it? That's cool. Yeah, Marvel Spider-Man is really great. You should go play it if you have the means to do so. I'm going to highly doubt it will ever come to any other platform, and that's a real bummer.
Yes.
I wish it would come to at least PC.
If I was Marvel, I would say, here is a blank check. Insomniac.
Right.
Make me a Avengers game, even though Square supposedly has a license for that.
God,
Make me an Iron Man game.
Sure, yeah.
Make me a Captain America game.
Right.
Make me a Thor game, and release it on everything.
Yep. Especially Switch. That's where the games go.
Marvel's Library of Heroes. Oh.
Yeah.
Make me a Captain Marvel game, because there's a character that not enough people know enough about.
Yep.
And she's a cosmic entity fighting cosmic beings, so it's not the whole Superman problem of he can't get hurt or she can't get hurt.
Right. Yeah.
But
anyways, go play Marvel Spider-Man, and that's all I've played these past 2 weeks, so let's take a break.
Yay.
You write down this last title. Thank you, Coach Jamal, for keeping up with titles.
Thank you, Coach. Like, seriously. Coach. You're so Coach. I am going to run the bathroom because I've been dying to pee for the past, like, hour and a half.
Okay. I'll stay here and talk to chat. Hi, chat. Let's look at news stories here real quick. We don't have a super long second segment, so I will go to the bathroom after that. Excuse me. There's still life in the Nintendo 3DS in 2019. There is. We were talking about it on Pup the other day about hopefully they'll Atlas will come out with Persona Q2 here in the West. I think it's. I don't think it's a guarantee they will, but I'm fairly sure they will. What do we have big coming out this year? Hello there, Shake and Bake. Entry in Odyssey Nexus. Yokai Watch 3, that's not really what I'm interested in. Shakedown Hawaii? Oh, the follow-up to Retro City Rampage. That looks cool. That should be fun. Shovel Knight King of Cards. I didn't know that was coming to 3DS. That's cool. Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. What else we have? Persona Q2. Very excited about that. That's a pretty solid list. Man, Persona Q2 is... That sold 80,000 copies in its first week in Japan. Wow. That's crazy. Something about Fortnite. Something. GDC nominees. Oh, and that's it. Let's see what's on Reset Era. See if there's any breaking news. Someone's saying Nintendo should remaster Donkey Kong 64. Just leave that in the past. It's okay back there. A lot of talk about Smash Brothers, which I still haven't played. My brother was saying he's really enjoying it. Why Days Gone is the next big Sony franchise. Oh boy. I really want that to be good. I just not much about it has looked interesting. Why did this thread get closed? Let's look. Oh, the thread runs its course. Okay, so everyone's just started slap fighting. Shakedown Hawaii. I don't know why it makes me think of Hotline Miami. Yeah, that's sort of what I thought when I read the title, but it's a sequel to Retro City Rampage, which is a game I never played. I should have played that. We're getting closer to a letterboxed for games. That would be really great. Oh boy, Mixer just showing its stripes again. You're just gonna get a ban for just being a fucking prick. Hey there, Mechanical Beak. Happy New Year to you as well. Oh, a bunch of people are. Okay, so this thread is people talking about. If there's a website like Letterboxd for movies, but for video games. Apparently, ggapp.io is what people are enjoying. I will have to check that out. Oh, let me reopen chat here so I can get this asshole's comment off of the stream here. Moon will be so surprised to hear it was from Mixer.
Oh, yeah.
My God, the shock.
Yep.
How could this happen?
Oh.
Okay. I'm ready to start whenever you are. We don't have a super long second segment, so.
Okay. I went to see...
compared to the first one.
Yeah. We went to see Into the Spider-Verse a couple of weeks ago. Go see it. It's a great movie.
I see it so bad.
There is like a faux 3D effect in it, made Jess nauseous. So she wasn't as big of a fan of it as I was.
I wish my daughter was older, because I think if she could sit in the chair for the whole time during the movie, I think she'd really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But she's 2, so
yeah,
it's not going to happen. Hi, Louise.
She's confused because I'm up here recording again, and for the past 2 Sundays, I have not been doing this.
Right.
You gonna go in your special seat?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Special seat. Not my face.
That's
special
a hint,
seat.
Louise. We've got to work. It's late. 5 o'clock already. Sheesh.
Come on. Okay. Good girl. Good girl.
There we go. That's the stuff. All right. You ready to knock this out? Louise has sounded the bell. We are clear for takeoff.
There is a new event at port.
Yep. Bastard.
Come on, that was it.
That was a good one.
2 weeks off apparently have done me good because I've been kind of pretty good today.
Yeah, you've been right on the references.
Okay. Yep. Ready whenever you are.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of January 7th, 2019. It's gonna be a real quiet month. This month, mostly because the holidays just happened. So, Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story comes out for the 3DS. This is a series I always really wanted to play because it's a Mario and Luigi turn-based RPG and never got around to playing any of them.
Bowser's Inside is actually pretty good as well. Like I played it on the 2DS, the normal DS.
Yeah, the regular DS. Yeah.
And it's pretty good.
Maybe I'll have to pick this up. I feel like I could play a mobile RPG. Like a
they
handheld
literally
RPG.
Go inside Bowser.
That's great. That's great. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe comes out for the Switch. That is a much longer title than I was expecting.
Yep.
I never played that one. I played the DS and 3DS ones. I liked those. I never That was on the Wii U, the original one? Yeah, because it has a U in it.
Yeah, but the original one was on the actual Wii.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so is this a re-release of a re-release?
I think this might be a re-release of a remaster or a re-release.
Oh, my brain just blacked out for a second. But most importantly, coming out on Friday this week, Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition, PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. Luis is taking a little bath over there. Ringing. Yeah. I'm so excited to play this game again. The thing I cautioned on Pup, and I will caution again here, I don't know how it runs. If you want to pick up Tales of Vesperia, which I 100% recommend you play, please do some research on how it runs on your platform of choice. I have no idea. I'll be picking up for PS4, and I'll talk about it next week. But beyond that, Tales of Vesperia is an incredible JRPG and one of my favorites. I don't know how the remaster does.
One of the GOATs when it comes to JRPGs? It's how widely regarded as one of the GOATs?
Yeah, it's widely regarded as one of the best Tales games, and one of the best, if not the best, 360 JRPG, which not a large field to pick from, to be fair. But
hey, come on, dude, don't do Blue Dragon down like that.
Poop monsters. Well, it had Eternal Sonata. It had some good ones that I'm forgetting now, other than those three. Lost Odyssey. There you go. Remaster that. That's a good one. All right, let's move on to our one news story. Again, it's gonna be quiet. This one's weird. Japan made a change to their Unfair Competition Prevention Act, which is not a thing I had heard of before. But basically, they extended it further into games in 3 main points that are all confusing.
Yep.
First one is, all 3 of these things are now illegal. First one is distribution of game save data editors and programs. Illegal.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Weird. That's one of those things where it's like, okay, I don't understand why, but all right. Second one is distribution, selling, auctioning of serial codes and product keys without the software maker's permission. So essentially reselling keys, which is also weird.
Yeah. But specifically in that case, it does say without the thingo's permission.
Right.
So I get it. So it's the whole Bethesda, you can't sell this game on eBay because you're not an authorized reseller, so you can't, or on Amazon, so you can't list it as new.
I mean, I'm sure it's trying, that one specifically is probably trying to crack down illegal sites like G2A. Don't at me, G2A is illegal. They're probably trying to crack down on gray market ones where it's like, okay, I bought this game on Humble Bundle, but I don't have anyone to give it to and I don't really need it, so I'm going to sell it to somebody else for $5. You know, it's like, it's the first Hitman game, and $5, here you go. They're trying to crack down on that, but that doesn't make a lot of sense either. But
no,
I don't. The hard part about this change is not a lot of background behind it, so there's not a lot of understanding on why this was changed. And the last one is services that offer the editing/hacking of save data and or modifying/hacking game consoles. That one especially is a little more understandable. Modding consoles is often seen as, yo, let's just play cracked games I have on a hard drive.
But it completely ignores the homebrew scene, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Japan kind of famous for having a killer homebrew scene on pretty much most of this kind of stuff?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Well, and it also could potentially kill the market of, there's like one person in the world in Japan that modifies 3DSs to put a capture card output in them. So
people can stream them.
Yeah, because you just plug like an HDMI, a micro HDMI cable in the back of your 3DS. And of course it's like $400 and takes a couple months. But now I don't think there's anyone in the world that will do that now, which sucks.
Hold on a minute. Let me get my conspiracy hat on here for a split second.
Okay, I see it. If you're not watching the live stream, it's a turd emoji hat.
So my guess here is hashtag big corporations have made the lobbying process over in the East to basically, because let's face it, this is pretty much all anti-consumer. This is all big corporation positives.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess is it's a lobbying thing done on the East side, which we don't hear about as much because we are a Western market.
Well, especially for something like you can't put out save game editors. Who does that really hurt? Like,
honestly, I can tell you who that hurts. That hurts people who are trying to do the free-to-play microtransaction BS. When you can have a save editor that gives you 9 million of the premium currency.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. But there have been a lot of pretty successful lawsuits lately about those individual companies or publishers going against the manufacturers of those, and in the U.S., some of them getting jail time. So, I don't know, weird.
That's the U.S. though.
Yeah, but I mean, if we can do it here, anywhere else should be able to do it pretty easily.
You'd think so.
Yeah, that's fair.
But the things that make this country weak are also the things that make it strong. So,
right. Hashtag USA.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to questions here. Kevin F. sends us an email, says, "Hello, guys. Kevin from Cincinnati. Hello. Thanks for writing again."
Kevin, poke chop salad?
Maybe. Maybe. What do you think of companies adding microtransactions to their games post-launch to avoid getting bad review scores? Many companies do this. Activision has done it with Call of Duty. They added weapons, not just cosmetics and skins, and require a very long grind, which is also a timed event, encouraging you to spend money or risk not having weapons that affect balance. It would be different if the ability to earn the items was always there, but the fact they added weapons for a limited time is gross. What do you guys think? Thanks for all your hard work, and keep it up. Gross is the word.
Yep. Ubisoft does it. EA does it.
Yep.
EA is the company that has been raked over the coals for this.
Yeah.
EA is not the only company who does it. EA just happens.
Square Enix did it to Eidos Montreal over the most recent Deus Ex game.
And Shadow of War as well.
Yep. It sucks, honestly. And the frustrating part is I don't really have I play Destiny. I don't have a problem with cosmetic microtransactions. Sometimes in Destiny I buy them. I'll spend $10 every once in a while here or there. I do have a problem when it very much feels like this bait and switch, or because when they come in like this after reviews where it's like, oh, we got a real good day one patch, fix a lot of stuff, and microtransactions, they're always gross or gameplay affecting.
Yeah, or even if they're not, like, it's still put that in from the get-go. Yeah. Don't try and be backhanded about it. We can all see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And most reviews nowadays are pointing out the fact that those marketplaces are there, but they're just not live yet. Honestly, I'm going to take the same stance with this I've always taken, which is if it's cosmetics only, fine.
I don't care as much.
I don't care as much. I would prefer them to not be in there because I do have an addictive personality and I would go down that rabbit hole.
And it'd be better if you could just unlock them in-game. Like, that would always be the preference.
Yeah, but I can't complain, for example, about Elite Dangerous, which is a game I paid $15 for in early access and $25 for the DLC expansion pass, which got me like 6 huge updates. I've not had to pay a single penny to them except for that. And they have an in-game store that's all cosmetic items, and I am fine with that. Yeah. I bought myself the green trail and the green lasers and the green everything else because green is my favorite color.
You could direct purchase the green trails, correct? No loot boxes. That's where it gets even worse.
Nothing like that. Like, if they're going to be in there, they're going to be in there. Just don't be D-bags about it, because it is, like you said, the word is gross. Like, it just is.
Yep. And it's usually, hey, day one patch, we put in microtransactions. Whoops, they're loot boxes. It's like, come on. It sucks. That's, no good. Nick R. sends us an email. Boston and Moon, first off, I'd like to thank Boston for being a nice stand-up guy. Oh, thanks. We talked a few times this past week on Twitter about joining the clan for Destiny 2.
What? No, don't skip
read between the lines. Moon sucks. I definitely need some. I like that you seem to be active with the community. I definitely need some help with the game. I went from 200 to 500 in about a week, getting a late game content, and will need assistance. Yeah, so hit us up on every platform. I'm Janston. Moonpeer is Moonpeer on everything. We will,
except for PlayStation. On PlayStation, I'm Moonpeer US, I believe.
That's correct. You're geographically aware.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as we're not as long as I'm not dealing with like a child melting down or something, or I'm going to bed, I'll play at least a little bit of something with anyone. Just hit us up. You can pilot a sloop with Moon.
Even just let us know what it's about, because there's so many bot accounts out there these days. They're constantly sending me friend requests and hashtag hot singles in my areas.
Right. Yeah, even if you just put like TVGP in there, it'd be like, cool, all right. Or just like shoot me an invite and say like, hey man, do you want to do Nightfall on Destiny? It's like, oh, yes, cool. I have enough time for that. But yeah, we're happy to play stuff. Hit us up. It says, I was listening to y'all's prediction episode. Just a couple of things I wanted to correct about what was said. Y'all, the developers crossed for Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter. Insomniac developed Ratchet and Naughty Dog developed Jax. Okay.
Thank you.
We have, I feel like I always get those backwards, because they came out at similar times and they were similar games originally.
Because it was like I think it was Jak 1, Ratchet 1, Jax 2, Ratchet 2, Jax 3, Ratchet 3. It was like, okay.
Yep. Every other year, there's one of these things coming out. Also, I'm not sure if Moon was aware that Sekiro isn't just a Microsoft-only title. It'll be on PlayStation as well. I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
I checked right before the show. It's also coming on PC. So it was heavily featured at Microsoft's E3 conference, right?
Yes, it was. They got a big push.
And that's why I thought it was going to be like Bloodborne was.
Me too. But hey, they got From on their stage, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Thanks again for the content you all make. Always look forward to it. Thank you for writing in. T-Bomb Rocks from Discord has our last two questions here. Have you ever considered doing a segment for the show, now that you both have Game Pass, where each of you picks a game for the other to play? Boy, the hard part here is, number one, that's a really good idea. Number two is, we don't have the time. I really wish this was our job, doing this show and like all the satellite stuff around it, because I'd love to do this and We Roguelike It and The Binding of Moonpeer and this cool Game Pass idea that we'd have to think of a punny title for all at the same time and stream stuff, and that would be really great. But both of us have jobs.
Yep.
So, unfortunately not. But I'm going to put that in the old brain pan and think of, number one, think of a punny title. Number two, if we ever think of something for Game Passing the Ball, that's just
that's not bad.
That's a first blush on it here, but that's a really good idea, and I wish we had more time to do it. With Hitman Blood Money and Absolution getting remaster, it had me, which, number one, really pleasant surprise for that to come out. That's a good choice.
Absolution is one of the best Hitman games. Screw all of those Hitman purists who are like, this is not Hitman.
Oh yeah, well yeah, nobody's ever happy. Where is it? It has me thinking, with the Xbox One X being able to enhance backwards compatible games at 4K, do you see this slowing down remasters or ports of PS3 and 360 titles? Well, that's a good question.
It should. It won't.
Yeah, like, did we not get a Red Dead Redemption remaster because it looks so good on the X already? Like,
Red Dead Redemption isn't even out on the PC, dude. So
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, did we not get a proper boxed version of that? Because, it just looks really great out of hand on the X. So,
I think they actually did do X upgrades for that. So, like, it's specifically for that game. They have put a bunch of like work into making it look better on the X.
And that has to be easier, I would assume, than doing a full remaster and putting it in a box and all that stuff.
Well, from what I'm not an industry insider, so I don't know the truth behind this. But
hashtag gaming secrets.
Yes. Hashtag behind the gaming mask.
I'm actually Michael Pachter. Oh
no! From what I understand, Microsoft has a small team in-house that goes out and tries to get permission from companies to put stuff backwards compatible, and then every single game that comes to BC is a custom built for like emulator wrapper that team makes for that specific game.
Interesting. Okay.
Which is why every time you put a backwards compatible game in, it has to download it and install it, is because it needs to also download the specific emulator wrapper that works for that game.
Right. Smart.
And I think during that process, they also say, hey, can we tweak the numbers a bit and give this enhancements, which allows them to also
Smooth
then
it out
go
a little bit. Yeah.
Increase the frame rate, increase the draw distance, that kind of stuff, because obviously the systems nowadays can handle it. So from what I understand is they take that and they tweak the numbers to the point where it still runs great.
Right.
And then that's when they ship out the door as a backwards compatible game.
And you have to think from Microsoft's standpoint, this is a smart investment, because when you look at the future of the Xbox brand, I hate to call it that, but you know, they're already talking about a streaming box and potentially a diskless Xbox. Having that built-in backwards compatible library has been hugely successful for Nintendo with their handhelds.
Yep.
But we've never really had that marketplace before for home consoles, partially because Nintendo doesn't care and Sony is so hard-headed about it. Microsoft doing this, if you buy one of those streaming Xboxes, whatever it's going to be called, and then you have your library and then potentially a huge library of 360 and original Xbox games there to just download or stream or whatever, that potentially hugely increases the number of titles that consumers have, especially since the 360's library was so strong. Yeah.
And on top of that, you think about this going forwards.
Yeah, that's
true. You think about the next generation of Xbox. You can come out of the gate and say, this is the next generation of Xbox. It is launching with 20 new titles on launch day, or do what Nintendo did and spread them out over the year, like 20 games over the launch year.
Sure.
However, it's built in with a library of 6,000 Xbox 360
games. You got your Game
games.
Pass. You got your
You've
360.
got Game Pass. You've got everything else. All the Xbox One games are now forwards compatible because the Xbox has done the smart thing and they haven't really changed their architecture since the 360.
Yep.
Well, since the original Xbox even. So they have that easily step-upable steps.
Largely largely home computer PC parts. The original Xbox actually was, that's why it was very large, is it was largely...
It was a PC in a box?
Yeah, typical PC parts, except for the processor. That was special. But yeah, I think that's smart. I mean, I think it's one of those almost inside baseball things that you look at Microsoft doing, and it's like, yeah, cool, you know, you're putting out a lot of 360 backwards compatible stuff, that sounds fine, but you start looking at it a little bit larger, and you start looking at it in the future, and I think you start looking at it and saying, like, yeah, that's a really smart choice, and I wish other companies would do that, as opposed to, one, ignoring it on Sony's standpoint, or two, just repackaging and re-releasing like Nintendo does.
Yeah.
So, good on Microsoft. It's another one of those things where it's like, that's the right choice to make, and they are making it and sticking with it.
Yeah.
So 2 thumbs up. Keep doing good stuff.
Long live the Spence.
Yes, that's right. All right, that's all of our questions, and that's actually our 3-hour-long super episode. They will be shorter after this, because we'll go back to a weekly format. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Patreon.com/E1M1, the ones are numbers. All the cool behind-the-scenes stuff and early access and all the exclusive episodes and all that stuff. You know, help us pay for the show, because it's free for you to listen to, but it is very much not free for me to put out. Not counting man hours, just counting hosting. And Game Club. We still have 2 weeks, I believe, to finish up Iconoclasts. I finished it just under 9 hours, so it's not super long. And I think that's it. Probably.
Yeah, we mentioned a lot of stuff at the top of the show. If you're not a patron, jump in at the $1, get the Outcasts episode for this week's most depressing / hilarious Moon Piers Christmas story.
It's a really good story. Yeah, it has. There's a really good story in there. But thank you for listening. We'll see you all next week.
Bye. Happy 2019. Okay.
So I have basically a full page of titles. So
I've got a lot too.
I'm going to mark off the ones you read out that I also have.
Okay. One True Pac-Man. Mr. Pac-Man, as he's known. Pac-Man sucks. Don't complete Ubisoft games. Hashtag cleaning up the list. Goodnight, Sweet Prince. Chekhov's Knife. The Deepest Dive. I wanted Jamiroquai this. Oh, the God Roll on Blast Furnace. 40 hours of magic all the bits together. I don't buy no certification BS. Dem windows are good.
Yep.
I'm more of an X person. Read between the lines. Moon sucks.
Unfortunately, that's too long, but
I know.
It's really good. I have a rolling can of Coke. Mr. Pac-Man. Pac-Man sucks. The Final Frontier.
Oh god, I kept on messing that one up, didn't I?
Is good. I'll Just Cry and You Don't Want to Watch Me Cry. Flappy Dot. Total Pirate Scumbag. Pirate Legend for 2019. The Deepest Dive. I'm More of an X Person. One True Pac-Man and Chekhov's Knife.
Oh, wow.
I like Mr. Pac-Man. I like I'm More of an X Person.
I like Chekhov's Knife.
Yeah. I almost want to leave that as a joke in there.
I wanted Jamiroquai this is pretty great, but is that a bit long?
No, and I want to leave that as a joke in there too, because I think your delivery on that, I don't want to spoil it.
I'm referencing a Godzilla 1996 movie, I believe it is. Or 97?
Yeah, 96 or 97, yeah.
I'm old, dude.
I'm going to put a star next to the ones I like. So I'm more of an X person. I like Mr. Pac-Man. Total Pirate Scumbag is good.
Yeah.
Any ones you feel really strongly on? I really like X Person.
I like X, but I'm torn between X Person and Dem Windows are good.
Yeah.
Your response with Dem Windows are good was.
I feel like we had a Windows title though.
We probably did
last year.
It was probably Disgusting Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think it was just as soon as Spider-Man came out. It was because that was the hot topic for a while. It was like, oh my god, real Windows.
Yeah.
Do you want to do I'm More of an X Person?
Yeah.
Okay. Circle that.
40 hours of doesn't exactly.
Yeah, it's easy to spell that onomatopoeia, but it's because it's PHBBB teat.
See, I wrote PPFFFFTT.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's good, but I don't know. It's such a hard thing to balance between like what makes a really good title versus what do we not want to spoil in the show.
The fans are voting en masse in chat.
I don't know. I wanted Jamiroquai is good, but your delivery of that is so strong. Maybe we'll just make a shirt out of it.
It's completely out of nowhere as well.
Yeah, we'll just put Moon on a shirt with that big poofy velvet.
The big hat.
Yeah. Be really good. Make a sticker out of it.
God. Yeah, I'm more of an X Person or The Deepest Dive. They're the two that stick out to me. But Deepest Dive is a joke I made on Twitter like 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, I'll pick X Person because I feel like that's a little punchier. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 585 for January 7th, 2019. I'm more of an X Person. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I gotta go. We'll see you. Bye.
See you, Coach Jamal.